All right, fellas, we're live.
What's up?
What's up?
Mancave
Where are we? Man,
episode
I haven't been
36.
in this freaking place for a long time.
It's
Yeah,
been a while,
daytime.
but it feels like it was 2 weeks ago, man.
Can it be daytime inside of a cave? I'm confused. I'm confused.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
they're
like-
just neon lights behind the curtain here. It's
I'm
just
going
looks
all
like
natural until we'll see. Then I'll be back in the cave.
all
It's been
natural.
like 3 months, man.
I know. I can't believe it. That fast. It was 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's so special. I'm busting out the trooper beer.
Oh shit.
I finally found some around me. So I was like, I'll try this.
I'll drink my Mandarin orange water.
All right, so we got Vance back, and I think Vance now holds the record for appearances with us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we went back.
I
He's
gotta
our
get a
Andy
life.
Richter.
Yeah, we had the staff check, and yeah, you got it.
I need to get a life.
Nah, we love having you.
This freaking staying at home and streaming shows. Is ridiculous.
And we got
Anytime Greeno asks who you want to get, my first person every time is call Vance. Tell Vance.
yeah,
I'm the freaking Joan Rivers of the freaking show, right?
He'll be
that's
available.
exactly what
Yeah,
I
I
said.
ain't doing nothing.
we love
Not
having
unless
you
I'm at
on.
a show. You know.
You're like our third you're like a co-host at this point.
And we got Mr. Bizarro, Aaron. Man, it's been probably a year since you've.
Yeah, it's been a
joined us.
while, man. Because I
Yeah,
couldn't
it's
even
good to
find
see
the
you guys,
email.
man.
Greeno, I was like, well, I can't find the email address.
That's good to see you guys, man.
Yeah, man. I think you just
Yeah.
had stubble last time we saw you.
Could be. I think I was like 8, 9 years old last time.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I only had the mustache back then.
Still had the Fisher Price turntable. Yeah, that was a long
There
time.
you go. All right, so tonight.
Oh, wait, first off, I got everyone probably saw it by now, but Will Smith slaps like a bitch.
Jesus Christ.
I'll be glad when that shit's fucking forgot about.
He's getting sued, man.
And Chris Rock added another show. There's like 4 shows he's playing here now. Sold
Good
out.
for him.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
what a
he's gonna
marketing
make
genius
some-
move that
yeah.
whole thing was.
Yeah,
At
he's
first,
getting-
when I saw it, I thought it was fake.
I did too, till
I-
Will started yelling.
I still question it.
So
No,
do
I
I.
don't. I
So do
don't.
I.
I got a lot of questions.
That's Will Smith, dude. He showed his true colors, man. That's him. He has a reputation around here being like that.
Aaron, what do we say? Malacca.
Malacca.
He's a freaking Malacca.
I never took Will Smith as an open hand bitch slap guy. I imagine him just full fisting the guy right across the face. You know,
Yeah.
if you're gonna hit somebody, just go all out.
Yeah,
And
but
the
I think
angle was weird. You couldn't see because the
It's
angle
like
was
a
weird.
movie slap, man. It's
he was
just-
picturing his wife. That's why he didn't go to the fist. He
It's-
should have. That's what he wanted to do to his wife.
I think that's how millionaires fight, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Slap fight.
I'm telling you, because they don't like each other in real life, dude. They haven't. 'Cause he took a shot at her years ago at the Oscars when she boycotted.
Yeah.
Chris Rock was the host, and he said something about basically, well, nobody invited you anyway, so I don't know why you think you were coming, kind of deal. So there's been bad blood in them.
Well,
between
can I
them
ask you
for a
guys?
while.
Did you even know that was going on? The Oscars.
I heard about it later. I didn't watch them.
I so don't give a shit about any of that.
No, I don't either. But my son came down the next morning to get for school, and he's like, "Yo, did you see Will Smith slap Chris Rock?" And I'm like, thinking, like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "On the, I forget what he called. Oh, he's like on the Academy Awards last night." I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
He's like, "Check it out," and he shows me, and I saw the slap, and I was like, "Oh, that's fake."
Yeah.
And then when I saw Will screaming, I was like, "Oh shit! Well, maybe that's not fake."
I was shocked that anybody actually watched that shit anymore.
Well, I think it's
they
funny.
haven't. And that boosted its
Yeah.
ratings like crazy.
It boosted the ratings right after it happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
the
I
next
heard
time
him
saw it.
talking about it on the radio the next day after on the way home from work, and then after the Will Smith bullshit, they talked about what movies won awards and all that, and I'm like, I haven't heard of one of these goddamn movies. So
Me neither.
Yeah. I can tell.
And either,
watch
even
it.
if I did,
6
I
months, a
wouldn't.
year from now, Will Smith going to have a new movie coming out. Watch.
Oh,
Chris
Nah,
Rock and Will Smith
yeah,
Nah,
together
That's-
again.
no,
Because
I honestly,
the
I
slap.
really, I honestly
bitch slaps.
think that they're.
Bitch slap too.
yeah.
yeah.
You'll see.
All right, man.
You'll see when he sues him. If he sues him for real, then you know it was real.
Yeah. So tonight, I guess we're gonna show some, go around the horn, show some new stuff. But the main topic is we're going to be talking about all-time favorite albums. So how this kind of come up, I was talking to George backstage before the show.
That in the back room
the
of
green
the
room.
in the green
room, the black room.
But about 20 years ago, I decided I want to sit down and put together the top 100 albums for me. So these are the albums that are perfect, the albums that aren't perfect, but they're special to me because they represent like a soundtrack from a certain time of my life and all that. Just something that means something to me. So I got going and I probably got about 30, and I did it slow. I didn't sit down and go, oh yeah, I'll put this. I really thought about it.
Yeah, for 20 years, and you only got what?
43.
He's got more in his inbox than he picked out.
Yeah.
I thought of like 10 in my head right away until he said, that one album that it might not be the greatest record, but when you hear it, you're like, fuck, man, I remember exactly where I was when I heard it, where I bought it, or just like that special.
It's part of your life. Yeah.
The timestamp of your life,
Yeah.
Then I got it, and I'm like, wow, I guess some of that 10 that I have in my head right now may not make it.
Yeah, I mean, is there something else that would boot one of those out once you really get going at it? Right. And like I said, I started this 20 years ago, and I did it for a while, and then a year or two, and then I just kind of forgot about it. Then I came across it about 10 years after that. It's like, oh, I want to keep going with this, and I added more. And then I forgot about it again. And then I came across it on my computer again the other day. And I'm like, fuck, I'm still only at 43. I really want to get this to 100 at some point.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
So far in your 43, did a Kicks album make it?
Yeah.
So far.
And if you don't tell me what it is, I want to guess what it is if it did.
I think I do have one on it. Yeah.
Midnight Dynamite.
You don't know me.
Am I wrong?
That's it.
I knew it. For some reason, man. No, I think you told me that years ago that was your favorite Kicks record.
Oh, that's the one, man. So anyways, going to try and kind of do that. We figure George is kind of starting to put his list together. I'm going to keep going with mine, and we'll show like 5, and then we'll invite some people on. They can show, 5 and kind of keep it going.
Well, so, you could probably guess one of mine. If I could guess Kicks Midnight Dynamite from you, you got to be able to guess one of mine.
I know one's going to be AC/DC.
Yeah, that's a good one. Back in Black.
Actually, probably two AC/DC records. That
were Bon Scott's.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say Power Age. But
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. He got it, dude.
How many shows have we done together now?
We're getting hitched next week.
Greeno was holding out a long time, huh?
Greeno completes me.
That's it.
Gross.
All right, man, let's get rolling. What do you got to show, Aaron? Anything new?
Yeah. And it happens to be one of my favorites. This is a difficult question. It's a difficult topic.
It's difficult to really take serious, not just whip out.
It is really, because for me, it's constantly shifting. Things that I liked when I was young, things I liked in my 20s were different, 30s, different 40s, and on and on. So I picked a combination of things I'm currently loving right now that I'm considering my favorites now. Mm-hmm. And of course, going back a little bit and talking about albums from the past that have kind of made a mark or kind of indelibly stuck in my brain because of the time, frame and that kind of thing. So this is my current favorite LP of all time. Like if you had to choose one as your number one, this would be my number one at this point. This is Voivod's newest one, Synchro Anarchy. This was done essentially by file sharing. They didn't really spend any time together. And I consider it one of the most complex LPs ever. It's very proggy and it's very mathematical, and lyrical content is of the time. It's very well made, sounds excellent, and it's extremely heavy.
Right on. I haven't heard that yet.
Who's in the band? I should say, if I can say it.
Snake and Away, of course, and
okay.
And then the what's he called? I'm trying to just come up with their stage names. So Chewy and Rocky on bass.
Gotcha.
So the bass is just so fucking raw, and the guitar just does Piggy so much credit. It's just so, it's the only way I could put it is so Voivod. It's like they pulled everything they've had from their very first LP and kind of gently arranged it in here, not so much for pompacity's sake, but it's just, I consider it very well constructed, and yeah, they kind of took everything awesome from their entire career and put it in here, but didn't use that as kind of a springboard. It's very well put together. Right. So yeah, I've probably heard this probably 30, 40 times since it came out, and I hear something new every time. I think Zepp agrees with me. It's very complex, and every time you listen to it, you're hearing something new. So this is so
that's like automatically on your list of top 100 albums. You're digging it that much.
Yeah, I'd say this is top few at this very moment right now. This is the one I'm choosing as my favorite at this very moment.
Right.
The other four I picked are favorites, but I don't have any order to put them in. Yeah. I picked them out because they stuck out to me and they mean something to me on that kind of level of growing up, Yeah. So yeah. All right. Synchro Anarchy.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, that's been in my heavy rotation too.
Right on.
There it is. Yeah.
Well, let's hold on before we get into. I mean, you're showing something new, but it's also on your list. So let's try and go through if you got anything new to show first before you jump into your list.
But relatively new,
or something you've picked up recently is all.
This is Brant Bjork and Nick Oliveri. Stoner. This is exactly what it looks like. This is stoner rock. The best example of all for stoner rock. I could say I got it from an auction, and the only thing I can say about this is if you like stoner, this shit is fucking stoner. Very well done. Very warm.
How are we in 2022 before one of those bands just called themselves Stoner?
It's funny you say that. I had a band called Stoned, and then when this came out, I thought, well, that's kind of a knockoff of my old band name. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a solid LP. If you like stoner rock, you like that Brant Bjork kind of feel, you'll dig it. You will dig this hard, man. So this isn't new, but this is a newer arrival that came shortly. There are other things on my list actually coming up, and a couple things in my cart.
Cool.
I picked this. This isn't a new album, but this is pretty recent. I picked this up recently. This is a original press, Wolverine Blues. And this one I like because it's kind of a departure from their catalog, their style of music. It's more bluesy, but it's got a bit of progressive edge to it. And again, I like the lyrical content. The CD comes with like a DC Comics kind of a inside where you can look through a comic book. It's got Wolverine and stuff in it. Solid LP, man. So this is another one that arrived not too long ago.
Wasn't Nick from the Helicopters like the drummer in that band for a while or something?
Good question.
Was it that band or it was like another death metal league?
Nicky Anderson is the singer and singer guitar player in the Helicopters, but I believe he played drums for.
He was in one of those more extreme bands, I'm pretty sure, for like an album or two or something.
Right.
Hold on, I'm online.
So I've got a couple. That I haven't fully absorbed yet. I got some VCLT from a buddy of mine, and this is called Moon Coven, Slumberwood. This is kind of like metal doom.
Oh yeah, did you get that from Zonk Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent it out to me too. That's good.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
They must have been cheap. But no, this is pretty cool. The first listen, I really liked it.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to spin it some more.
High Definition TV said Nick was indeed in Entombed.
There you go.
There you go. Is that same? Is it Nicky from the Helicopters?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is it? I don't think his name's Alexander though. Is it? Nicky Anderson. My bad. I was thinking Nick. Once I said Nicky Alexander, I think Nicky Alexander was like L.A. Guns' original drummer, like way back when.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
I just remember.
So that's about it for me. I didn't get a ton in really recently, but I am looking forward to RSD. Not so much participating in it, but Voivod is now going to put out Angel Rat and Nothing Face on vinyl, so I'm really looking forward to getting those two.
Angel Rat, I've contacted my connection in Chicago to see if he can find me one, because he gets me all the cool.
Just hold on like a month. It's going to be coming out, Greeno.
Is your connection on the same broadcast that we're on right now?
I can't say right now. I don't want to give up my connections.
I thought somebody told me that one of the guys that's on our show right now is from Chicago. No,
no, they're talking about.
Seriously, you've probably found me 2, 3, 4 record store names.
A couple of them, yeah.
What you got, Vance?
I got a stack of shit, but let me see if we'll kind of go with something older that I picked up. This is a third 3-man army.
Yeah, I saw you showed that, man. That's
it's Karma Sutra, I think like 70, 71 this came out. Just that hard 70s guitar solos and riffs all over this thing.
I love that album, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that was kind of just something I went down one of those rabbit holes on YouTube and came across it, and then I saw it. I'm like, hey, I just saw this the other day or whatever it was, and I'll pick that up.
I actually showed that with John, Metal Alchemist.
Oh, okay.
When we were doing those 70s videos, I pulled that out. It's like, I love that album, dude.
Well, I didn't notice it then. I saw this band not too long ago. It's called Dead Feathers. They're kind of a psych stoner. They're out of Chicago. Female singer. I really like this it's a kind of a slower, haunting kind of sound to it, but been into them, and I'm probably gonna go see them in a couple more weeks. I think at 420 of all things, but so been into them. They're pretty good. Again, that stoner psych, kind of in the same vein as this Beelzebong.
Oh yeah, excellent, dude.
Yeah, this is off that heavy psych sounds. Yeah, I love that cover. This is cool stuff too, man. Like that. What
do you think they're into?
Yeah.
Brownies.
I think at least 3 out of 4 of us got the Sabotage, Hollow Mountain King. This was sounded great. I went through this and it was better than sound wise. I thought it was great.
That's awesome, man. I've been so tempted on those.
Oh, you haven't got it? Oh, I thought you did.
Nah, I have OGs, but I heard those are awesome.
Up Sirens, that Sirens one.
Yeah. And then I have to tip a little hat to Mr. Bizarro because I got into Buffalo through that whole Hard and Chevy, and then I found this it's like a live. They kind of got back together or something like that, or one of the guys.
It's an entirely different band with Tice singing.
Okay, yeah.
But with totally the blessing from the entire band. That's actually pretty awesome. I didn't even know that existed.
Oh yeah, it's I got it off of Ripple Records, so yeah, go check it out. But
I gotta have that.
Yeah, it's good.
There's some clips online where you can see him singing Dave Tice with the band.
Yeah, there are tracks on it too.
Wow, cool. Check it out.
It's good. And I don't know the other stuff. What else do we get? Old Blue Light Jean Raw on this.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if you guys seen this on. I got this off of Riding Easy Ice. The Ice Age. And again, an old 70s hard rock band that had a couple songs and they dug them up. Where are these guys out of?
So it's an actual 70s band. It's not a newer retro sound. That's cool.
No, it's not. It's originally from 1970s. I remember where they were from. But it's cool. It's I kind of got attracted with the cover for some reason. I mean, it's just some old stock.
It's a great cover.
Yeah, but it was cool.
Yeah.
So it's called Ice, the Ice Age, and then I don't know, some Rossington Collins band. Oh, a Cactus album. Oh yeah. Have you heard this? Tightrope.
No, I don't have that one. That's their latest one, right?
Yeah.
Is there anybody in it left besides Vinny?
Carmine,
I mean.
Yeah.
No,
not
nobody
really.
in it except for Carmine.
Yeah.
But I saw Racer X. He's in it.
Yeah, I saw them before the pandemic, and then they put this out with that lineup, and it's pretty good. I mean, they did another album called Black Dawn, which I thought was pretty good too. It's just that old hard rock stuff. Good.
I think the last album I heard from them was Cactus 5. I think that was the last one I heard from them.
I only have the first 2, and I bought that Black Dawn at the show. I signed it, and then I saw that one come out. So I'll pick it up. That's kind of the latest and greatest, really. I mean, I could go on because
right on.
Some Earth. Oh, the new Ghost.
I didn't like it.
No.
I like the last record, but I think I'm just I think I've been oversaturated with them. It was just kind of blah record, but it might be one of those ones that when I go back to it in a couple weeks, I might grow on me more.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, I liked it. It's just that pop kind of metal, like they say.
Yeah.
I did get this though. This is a Tear, Black Sabbath Tear.
Bathroom break.
No.
And this is Jesus Christ. It's a bootleg, but it sounds pretty good, and I am not going to be able to afford an original, so it's kind of.
Are they actually going for serious money?
The Tear Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
The originals, yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah, and that what's the other one they did? Headless Cross and Forbidden. Yeah, they jacked up to.
They're over 100.
80, 100, yeah.
I seen an OG Headless Cross in the local store for fucking like $200. I thought it was insane, and then somebody came right in and bought it. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I picked this.
Well, like the one that Vance is holding right now. There's some company over. Well, they say they're overseas, but they're
Who's in that, Vance?
They're doing these fucking pirated records, but they sound and look amazing. I don't like. I've got.
Oh, it's well done. I mean,
yeah,
they got the custom inner, the sounds. That's why I'm like, well, I'll buy that. I'm not going to be able to afford another one. Be honest, I never even touched this album when it came out.
Yeah, I can't remember the last one I got, but you can tell they have those red. They have the colored circles on the outside that say like.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
Not up, but they say it's like colored vinyl limited.
Yeah, but it has the color of the vinyl as the dot. They're all the same, but I picked up and of course, it was right before they announced the reissue of it, but Tom Petty Wallflowers.
Oh.
I found it was one of those with, like white vinyl. And I was like, before I realized what they were, I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was like $40 or something. So I was like, brought it home, listened to it. I thought it sounded great. I thought it was legit. And then like a month later, they announced that big box set one. I was like, oh, I guess it's a bootleg.
Well, that's what I did with Tool's Fear Inoculum.
Yeah,
I found a 2-album bootleg for like $30, and then they released that 5-album set for like $180. I'm like, I'm not gonna. No, that sounds this. I'm fine, happy with that boot.
Yeah,
I mean, I got it on a CD, but
damn, there was something else that. Greeno, I wanted to tell you they did a pressing a hot wire like that. Like the one that Vance. Yeah,
the pirate stuff.
Yeah, there's pressings of hot wire out there now.
Yeah, I've seen them floating around. Like there's a shop next to me, but dude, they still want like $30-$40 for them or whatever.
Well, let me know, dude. If hot wire's out, that means Bite Down Hard's not too far behind because that was the same label, same year, same everything. And I'll tell you, if you see them in your local shop, if they have 4 of them, just buy all 4 and I'll kick them. Because I'm gonna need them for us. So.
Yeah, dude, all that stuff's getting pirated. I mean, it's like I was telling Vance, I saw Rat Infestation, that green cover one from like 10, 12.
Yeah.
That's pirated. It's out there floating around too.
Wow.
Well, what's messed up is like a couple years ago they did this Skid Row Slave to the Grind reissue, but it was only for Record Store Day, and they have yet to reissue it again, which I think is dumb. Because it was never out here to begin with, so on vinyl, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And like something like that, even if you do 1,000 black vinyl and just put them out, they're gonna sell, But they're gonna. What they'll do is price them at $30 or $35 list price. Like I was telling you, I was telling Greeno before you guys hopped on that we haven't been buying a lot of new product because of the price gouging on them now.
Yeah.
And we were ordering.
What's the margin on that then? What are the margins you're seeing on?
Well, I was telling him that Blue Note has a series called Tone Poet.
Right.
And they put out maybe 1 or 2 titles a month. That's what it seems like to me. It was right after the pandemic started or right before. Our list price on those were $32. So I was like, which isn't too bad for double, and they're 180 gram, and they have the nice inner sleeves and all that, and they sound great. Well, a year and a half later, the list price has jumped twice already. They're now $38. So that's $6 a jump price just in the list. We pay 30. Well, now we pay 32 something, costs. So we have to, we can't, and plus we can't, legally you can't price them for more than list price, so they say. But
whatever.
I mean, new records we're only making $2 to $6 on.
Wow.
So we've been ordering less and less, put it that way.
But I told George I'm out.
Yeah, he said he's done.
I bought 2 records so far this year. I'm trying to keep up with the obscure metal reissue things, that are $500 original, you know what I mean? And if I can get them for between $20-$25, I'll jump on them. But I'm done, man. I'm not paying these prices anymore.
Nah, I don't blame you.
It's just, it's ridiculous.
I'm the same way, man. I told him the latest thing I got was this Helicopters record. That's the newest, brand new record that I got. And it's
I've seen a couple people have that.
The indie exclusive one. So, you don't feel bad because there's only 2,500 of these. And it's a great record. And this is the kind of album I told Greeno you should probably listen to on vinyl because it has that 70s vibe to it, It's very 70s. Century Media, which is only 24 to I think 28 is for their double albums sometimes, but you could probably find it for 20 to 24. Or if not, I can try and get you one.
And then you toss in the shipping. What's that put you up to? Almost 30?
Yeah, well, if you get it from Amazon, they might have it since it's Century Media, Yeah, they distributed it here, I think.
But that's like you were talking about those Blue Note reissues.
Oh, I'm sorry, Greeno, Nuclear Blast.
Okay.
So it should be, I mean, if you wanted to get it on vinyl, you should be able to find it pretty cheap on Amazon, maybe.
But you were talking about those Blue Note reissues, and it's like how much they are. And I told him when I was first starting to check out jazz, there was Blue Note reissues everywhere for like $12 to $15.
I remember those, man.
They weren't special. They didn't have a bunch of extra crap or anything. It was just the album with an inner sleeve. And I don't even think there was any liner notes or anything. It was just a reproduction of the album and the vinyl. Yeah. And dude, that was great. I was picking them up here and there, but I'm not paying $40, $35 for, even if it is a double.
Well, you know who got on that wagon too is Sony with the Miles stuff. Was it Miles? I don't know jazz that well. Who did Kind of Blue?
Miles Davis.
That is Miles?
Yeah.
Sony had them. We could get them in the shop at $13 and sell them for $17.99 because we never something like that. We try not to go near 20 because people can get them for $17 on Amazon. So there's no sense even bringing them in. But an album like that is as sought after.
You're gonna sell the hell out of them, at
right?
$18 to $20,
right? Well, that changed to, I think it went to 24, right? And then they discontinued it, and then they reissued it as a double for like $36 now. The 180 gram, and we can't get the single LP anymore.
So 90% of the people that would buy that are out now. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what they're planning on, they know that the guys that buy the Tone Poet shit are I don't want to say well-to-do or well-off, but they're guys that have that extra $40 in their pocket at a drop of a dime. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's no big deal to them.
Yeah, but that's
guys like us. It's like $40 for a record. Go fuck yourself.
But that's what I'm saying. That's 10% of the people that are collecting. When the other 90% just want to have it on vinyl for $20.
Well, yeah. Well, they have to get that limited edition money first, because what's going to happen is the Tone Poet stuff goes out of print, as it does, because it's limited, and then 4 years from now, they'll do another cheaper reissue of it, except it won't be cheaper because of inflation and all that shit. But it won't be as nice as the pressing that came beforehand. It's just,
Do away with the limited bullshit. Do away with the 15 different colors. If you want to do a couple different colors, that's cool, whatever. But just make them where people can still collect. And I'm just not talking about myself or us, but like new people getting into it. You're fucking crazy if you think I would start collecting records today. There's no way.
No. Well, we have a lot of kids that come in, but they're not buying the new shit.
Yeah, they're probably going through the old stuff.
Yeah, they're going through the old shit.
$5 or something. Yeah. If there's any at $5 or $6.
Yeah. And the new, the new shit that does sell is the fucking Adele or the fucking Taylor Swift. Dude, I don't even bring it in the store and I still get phone calls and I tell them, no, we don't have it. Because I'm not bringing that shit in, Now, if my daughter asks me for it, I'll get one from our distributor or something. But I don't need to sell that shit. I don't need that clientele.
All right, enough bitching. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's Old Man Record Night, or whatever it's called.
Old Man Record Night. That's it.
That's gonna be the new title, Old Man Record Night.
I thought we were 4 guys with glasses.
Oh shit!
Yeah, no shit.
4 blind old men record night.
And no razors.
Yeah.
Wearing hats indoors.
I can't believe I'm the one with the shortest beard tonight.
Oh, I know. I was just saying that.
I shaved all mine off usually when it gets warm out.
Yeah. I went back to the goatee, but it's time to shave again. We got anything new, George? I know you just shaved the helicopter.
Yeah, the helicopters. That's probably my. That's the one I've been listening to the most. But Greeno, you saw this one. The dealer.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And it was pretty cheap, so I picked it up. It was like 18, I think it was, something like that. And then it has the 7-inch in it. Yeah. But it's pretty cool because it's like like Def Leppard kind of style, a new wave of British metal kind.
What label was that on? I can't remember now.
Splattered.
Yeah, that's like newer. They've done a couple things. I can't remember what all I picked up from them, but
this is the only thing I think I have. I might have one other thing on this label now that I look at the logo. I've definitely seen the logo before, but I like this. I thought this was cool. 70s, late 70s. The second album from that band Charger. If you like Motorhead, they're older guys like us doing Motorhead shit. I think this is the guys they were all in bands before, but this is on that Pirate Press record, and this is another one, Greeno, that was 14. My cost on it was 14, and this packaging's like pretty killer.
So,
nice.
So what did you sell it for? 18 or 20?
I didn't bring it into the store. I just ordered one for me because I don't think we would sell.
What would you sell it for?
If I got it for 14, $18, $18.99.
How many records do you have to sell in a month to actually keep a store open at that kind of?
Well, thank God we do 95% of it is used. We're constantly buying collections and I'm constantly updating the website and people
It's got to be tough, man. Even that way, it's still got to be tough.
I got to be honest with you, man. The last year and a half, we've had our best. Our 29th anniversary was this past Friday, and this past year and a half, our numbers wise has been the best it's been, and probably since I think Dave said the early 2000s, maybe.
Wow.
Who'd have thought? Everybody freaked out when the pandemic started, but shit like this went nuts.
Yeah, because people were home, and
Yeah.
they wanted something to do. So, I mean, we got a lot of new customers, just walk-ins that were in the neighborhood that were working out of their house. And now they're like, I've heard it countless times now, like, oh, my wife or my husband gave me a turntable for the holiday or for my birthday. I just saw you guys on here. Because, dude, we don't advertise at all.
Yeah.
We're all word of mouth 29 years in. It's word of mouth at this point. Like we have, they don't have a phone book anymore, so it's not like you can go look in record store. So I mean, like everybody else, people Google nearest record store or whatever, and we pop up, and that's it. That's how people find us. But
that's like Vance and I were talking the other night. It's like when the pandemic started, it's like, okay, what can I do at home by myself? You know, people got back into comic books, records, sports cards. And I was telling him, I watched a video the other day on, it was a tour of the Gibson plant, Gibson guitars.
I think I saw that.
It's pretty killer, man. There's just fucking guitars everywhere that they're working on. Yeah. And the guy's like, you know, how are you as far as sales and all that? And these guys like, we're still a couple months behind. You know, we just can't keep up because people were home and like, I'm going to buy a new guitar, or I'm going to learn how to.
I'll learn how to play guitar.
Yeah. They're getting that government check too, especially if they're still working. That's what they spend it on.
But who would have thought? I mean, it's still freaking.
It's good though, you know, because
my online ordering skyrocketed when all that stuff.
Yeah, mine too. I did a little bit more because we were closed, you know, for a few, 6-8 weeks, something like that. Yeah. But like,
what else are you going to do? I mean.
Yeah, and it's with us, with our stores, like we don't concentrate on the new shit at all. I mean, obviously we do record store day for everybody locally. We make, as long as we make our money back that day, we're happy. And then anything past that's bonus for us, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you're talking a $15,000 order that is coming out now of our account, and we can't sell this shit for another 2 weeks. Come on, you know, we got a box of stuff last week that's been sitting there priced up ready to go, and we can't sell it until the 23rd. It's like we're sitting on so much money. This is the biggest one we've done order wise, just because we've gotten so much feedback and so much interest in this record store day for some reason, because I think this title sucked this year, to be honest with you, but what the hell do I know?
What else you got there?
This is cool. I think you might dig this too. It's a tribute to Nazareth. Let me
oh, okay.
That's pretty cool.
But it's like, yeah,
nice
it's
name.
I guess it's Sustex Records or Saustex Records, but
it's not Cleopatra.
No, I don't think so, unless they snuck it in there. But
yeah, who all's on it?
Well, it's weird because it says on the front, it has these two. It has this logo here, this JG and JM.
Mm-hmm.
Even with my glasses, I can't see it. Because the type's purple, man. Hold on. Okay, so it says Josephus, right? So that threw me off because I thought I was the 70s band, but it's not. It's Josephus and the Josephus and the George Jonestown Massacre. So I don't know if that's a band and all these other guys on here, or
yeah, I've heard of the Jonestown Massacre.
I heard of them too, but not the George Jonestown Massacre, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh, not Georgetown. No, it's Jones.
So so I assume that's the band that's on here, and all these other dudes are singing. So you got Eddie Spaghetti from the Super Suckers on here, Blaine from Nashville Pussies on here, Ryder from Nashville Pussies on here, Jason McMaster's on here,
right on.
Dangerous Toys.
How is it,
dude? It's killer.
Right on.
It's like, I mean, it's a real tribute. It's not, they didn't do anything goofy, you know, they stayed pretty much true to the songs, and
cool.
And but fucking McMaster, dude, his vocals on here, he's going to town, dude. He's screaming his ass off on that song. I thought it was killer.
Hey, dude, you just mentioned Eddie Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the deal with the trucker rock thing, trucker country thing he's got going? Because I
don't know.
I sent links to you, I think, Vance.
I saw his post on it, and I guess they're going to do a record together or something. I don't know. I think
it's like their second or third one, dude.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I don't know. I don't really follow his country rock stuff too much.
It's very cool what I listen to. It's like it's not full blown 70s trucker country, but it's got some rock in it. I'd love to find some of that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can dig some up.
I can't remember the name of the band.
And then I got the last two new ones I got. I had to get these because I never had them on vinyl, but I got they put a compilation out here. I want to say like when Dickinson joined Maiden, that band Samson. I think it was called Shock Tactics or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they reissued these on that Culture Factory Records. That Sail On. Was it Sail On? I always forget. Yeah, Head On. My bad. Head On.
Wow.
on yellow vinyl.
So crazy, man. For reissuing the most obscure crap.
And now this is fucking weird, man, because this one says this one's from '79. This is Survivors, right?
Yep.
And it says the first studio album, a true lost gem. I mean, I've had this record forever on cassette. I never had a CD, so I was like, these were cheap too, man. These are $20 lists. So I'm like, I'm gonna pick them up. So I got this one, but it says their first album.
That's not right?
Right?
Was it the first album?
So I'm looking, right, because wait till you see what this other one says. So I look, I'm like, well, who the fuck is singing on this? If this is their first album, then
it's Sampson and Dickinson, right?
Yeah, it's Bruce, right?
Yeah.
That's him. So then on this sticker or this, they come with these Obi strips too, by the way. But on this one, it says 1980, the first studio album with Bruce Dickinson on vocals. So I would imagine that means he sings on the whole album.
Probably. John said, yeah.
Because I noticed that too.
Dickinson.
On here, it says Paul Sampson lead vocals and lead and guitar. But it says Bruce vocals, harmonic, and guitar.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I always assumed it was Dickinson on that whole record. But,
I kind of did too, to be honest.
Yeah. But I figured for that, I haven't been buying any of the major label shit. I like to get weird shit like this. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then they're doing the next album, but for some reason that one got bumped for another couple months. They were all supposed to be out at the same time. But I think the third album is something with Shock in it.
I can't remember. I have most of those because they used to be dollar records. You find them everywhere.
Yeah, I thought I had the third. I might even have the third album on vinyl because I think it had my favorite song on there was "Go to Hell," and it was such a cheesy lyric. "Don't ring my bell, told you to go to hell" or something like that. But it was like we were talking the top 100. It's one of those songs I heard.
Shock Tactics.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's one of those songs I heard when I was a kid, and it was like, I remember when I heard it.
Right on.
How about you, Greeno?
I got a few things. I haven't read a music book for a while, so I pulled this out, had it laying around.
I saw you post that on Facebook.
Into the Fire.
Somebody wrote a book about Dokken. Jesus.
Hell yeah. It's so thin. I mean, this thing should be like this. It's Dokken, man. Come on. Yeah, it's pretty good so far.
What happened to him? He's sick or something? I seen him on an interview the other day. He sounded like shit.
Who, Don?
He doesn't sing anymore?
He doesn't sing anymore.
Yeah.
No. They're coming up through here with Jack Russell's Great White, too.
I thought he is still out. But
he is out, but
I've heard so many bad stories about him singing. I'm like,
dude,
pass.
Just go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and look up.
Yeah,
I was watching something
hard to watch.
I was fucking dying laughing, dude.
Yeah, like the last 15, 20 years, he's been pretty rough vocally.
And he looks like Steven Seagal on stage, except for the top part. Like he has the same body type as fat Steven Seagal now. I could say that I'm fat.
What is he's probably pushing 70, right?
Yeah, probably. He looks. I mean, for what he does and what he's doing and being that old, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't sound. He's not off key when he sings at all. He just sings in a different register that ruins the fucking songs. To be honest with you.
Yeah, there's no wind behind him anymore.
Yeah, well, Eric Power just brought up better or worse than Vince Neil.
That's not saying.
Oh my God. How long do we got?
I say that's a level right there.
I would rather go see. Yeah, I could sit through Doc and sing in.
Do I have to make a choice between one or the other?
Yeah.
Vince Neil sing every other.
I just stay in the parking lot, please.
Let's up some balloons.
All Vince Neil does, like Dr. Feelgood, he's like, he's the one that everybody else sings it.
I've been picking up some CDs because I'm pissed off.
I'm missing so many comments. People probably hate me down here, but we've been talking. So
grab this. I got the first Cinderella. They did the same thing with Heartbreak Station here.
Oh, you wiener! I didn't get that one yet.
Yeah, it's got a live show from that era.
Now is that
they're local band, Greeno? I've seen them a billion times back in the club days.
I bet.
Is that Bad Reputation?
What do you
mean? The label?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got.
It was one of those bands. Love the music, hate the name.
I got the
get over the Cinderella name.
That's the one with the live show, right? Or is it?
Yeah, from '90.
Yeah.
So what's that live show in that one?
It doesn't say the year. It just
read me the first. I can
Heartbreak.
tell you exactly. Just read me the first 3 songs. I'll tell you exactly when it's from.
More things change.
All right,
Somebody Save Me and Heartbreak Station.
It's Heartbreak Station tour.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
and now why didn't they save that for do the Heartbreak Station reissue and put that in there?
I got a question. Is the Pat's Chili Dog song on there by any chance?
No, but I have the video of it.
Yeah. That's what this is, dude. That's Heartbreak Station, the album with the
live.
They
I thought that was
the record.
Long Cold Winter, dude. No. I'm an idiot. Did they do Long Cold Winter?
Yeah, same deal. They got a live show with it from Tokyo, if I remember right.
Tokyo '87?
Probably, yeah.
All right, well, that's my boys, man.
They've been reissuing a lot of this stuff, and same deal, same label. They did Shark Island, Law of the Order, not the greatest hair, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I saw those too.
I didn't have it on discs. I went and grabbed it because it's got, it's 2 discs with the live show from that era.
Yeah.
And they're relatively cheap, so I've been kind of grabbing these when they pop up.
Yeah, they look interesting, that one did.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's not the greatest album.
Dude, how cool is fucking Bad Reputation and the other one, the one that has the magazine? Rock Candy?
Yeah, it's like the perfect freaking thing. Why aren't all these older bands that have vaults full of live stuff?
Well, Rock Candy's different, I think. Rock Candy tries to license it from the actual labels, where Bad Reputation just fucking, they just take a shot in the dark and put shit out. Because Bad Reputation did some Britney Fox reissues of the first 2 records that they probably shouldn't have.
But I mean, all these old bands that, like, if you're reissuing, like Zeppelin, I think the first reissue where they put that live show with it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That should be the standard when these bands are reissuing.
That's what I really want.
Well, the problem is
stuff from the studio, the 75th take of track 3.
Yeah. See, the problem is with the guy.
If it's a new cut, something that didn't make the cut, that's one thing. But I don't need 4 versions of a demo of.
Exactly. The worst thing I saw was, what was that Stooges box set that Rhino did? That was something like 8 discs, and it was
that was ridiculous. The Raw Power thing.
Yeah, everything that was recorded for that.
You got to be a mega. I mean, if that was AC/DC, I would own it.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that for any band. I don't want to hear everything.
If it was AC/DC, I would absolutely own something like that. Nobody else, dude.
Yeah.
But they're my boy. Like they're the kind of band that if Angus has fucking 10 instrumental tracks completely done, that's gonna sit on a box set on disc 7 of the vinyl, I'll be listening to that fucking thing somewhere. You know what I mean? But you know why they do? Unfortunately, guys like Zeppelin and Metallica and Pearl Jam, they can afford, and mostly I think all 3 of them own their music now, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they could do whatever as far as these elaborate packaging go. That's really killer, like the shit that we liked, like Metallica did. I mean, the only one I bought was the Master of Puppets box.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I was interested in.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's on another level, though.
Yeah, but guys like Kix, guys like Kix and Britney Fox, especially in that era, like 91 when Atlantic, dude, we've been trying to get Bite Down Hard reissued for 30 fucking years. We just went through our 30th anniversary of that record and nothing.
Yeah.
Because we can't afford to buy the rights to the record back from them. So that thing's going to sit. They could do whatever the fuck they want with it, but we can't. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's where a lot of bands like fucking Cinderella might be on a different scale because they sold more records, but I don't think so. Or else they would have done it.
Even the labels, it's like if you're going to reissue something for the 10th time, put a live show from that era with it, something.
Yeah, like why didn't that Cinderella record, like the Heartbreak Station you got and the first album I got, how come that didn't come out here?
Yeah.
Why do we have to go to France to buy a French import of it? You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for that not to. Well, I guess there is, man. There's no there's no retail stores anymore that sell CDs unless it's a mom and pop.
Yeah. But even with vinyl, I mean, they could do it vinyl-wise. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling that there's more to it than.
Oh, I'm sure it's all business.
It all has to do with the chain Big Lot stores. I still believe that, you know.
One other one I grabbed is I knew nothing about this band, but everybody knows I dig Japanese metal. Trash.
Yeah, how was that? I saw that picture too.
It's pretty cool. They're kind of that where am I?
Loudnessy or
no, it's more like a sleaze rock kind of late 80s. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I always saw those bands, like I used to get Burn magazine back in the late 80s, and you'd see those fucking guys, the Japanese guys. One would have like red fucking hair, one would have blue hair, and purple. And then you get the record, and it was like, oh, these guys are terrible, man.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, a lot of it's bad, but it's so crazy that I dig it because 99% of those bands we never heard about here.
No,
you know
never.
And there's all the stuff that come out over there, and it's like I give it a shot.
Yeah.
I grabbed this reissue. This is one of the obscure ones. Just got reissued. Maniac.
Damn, I saw that too on your feed.
Or are they from Austria? I think something like that. It's like mid '80s. Killer, just straight ahead, kind of metal. Kind of like a German Teutonic metal, whatever you want to say. And last one I got. I've had this for a while, but I was dicking around on Discogs. I can't remember what the hell I was looking up, but I ended up looking these guys up, and you either hate them or you love them.
There it is.
I think they're freaking hilarious, and I think they're talented as fuck.
Death to all but no.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But Stick Sardinia guy.
What's that?
What's the drummer's name? Stick Sardinia or something?
Stick Sardinia.
I think they're great. They're hilarious. They're fun. But
man, dude,
I looked this up. Dude, this is like I can't remember now. 150, 250.
Yeah, it was. You said it was over 200. I think.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You texted me on it.
Yeah. I'm like, I had no fucking idea.
What did you pay?
Well, that's their first one, right?
I bought it new, whatever, $20 back in the day. Yeah, it's the first one.
Yeah.
It's on purple vinyl and all that shit.
Dude, you know, I fucking love that singer in that band. And when he was in Atomic Punks, that guy sounds exactly like David Lee Roth, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and what's the guitar?
He was on Guns N' Roses album too, I think.
Really? But that guitar player is awesome, man. I mean, these dudes.
That's Ross.
They were like.
You know who that is? That's Ross. You remember that band, Halford's band, Fight?
Yeah. He was in that?
He was in I think he was on the first album.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Ross.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking.
They're fun. Steel
Have
Panther.
you ever checked them out?
I know Steel Panther. I can tell you the guys. Yeah,
that guitar player's fucking killer in that band. But it's this kid that he was a kid when he was in this Fight record on this Fight. Russ Parrish. That's his real name, dude.
And I can't remember what they call him. Satch. They call him Satch now in this.
This is him, right? I mean, he's young as shit in this picture, but
I can't tell.
Right there, right here.
Yeah, it might
where's
be.
My finger? That's Ross, dude.
Yeah, but I was blown away. It's like I cannot believe this.
This is the. By the way, this is the white vinyl. They just reissued
We've been asking for years and years of when is the cap going to happen? When is it going to fucking stop? Apparently it's not going to stop.
It's not stopping.
It's not going to stop.
It's
not the $40.
I'm telling you now.
Who was buying this shit? That was my question. Who's paying this kind of sick fucking money for this?
That's what I say all the time. Yeah, because this is killer. I love this, but I ain't giving you $200.
$200? Are you insane?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
could hire them to play your fucking show in your backyard for $200.
Yeah, like we got
they're out of their minds.
Somebody put a new record out last week. Father John Misty. I know he was in some shitty band some long time ago. I don't know. But I saw an interview with him and he's a fucking asshole. He seems like a pompous cunt, but anyway. his new record was like a double LP, nice deluxe packaging. I think it was a trifold kind of thing, and that one was like $24 list, right? And then we get in, like I told you, the Tone Poets are $38 list, so that's another $14 more than it should be. And then there was somebody else like Dylan or somebody like that, and their fucking list was 40.
No way.
And I was like, go fuck yourself. I'm not even ordering that.
All right, man, let's get into some of these favorites. Like I said, these are albums that if you put a list together, nothing else would bump them off. They're just very important albums to you, and you think they're 10s, or like I said, just very important albums. So you want to start, Aaron?
How many are you actually going to show? 100 LPs tonight?
No.
Do I need to get a fucking top laid out here or what?
Yeah,
We're going to do like 5 at a time.
We're like, yeah, let's just do a room tour because, you know.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
Greeno's going to be like, I put all of my favorite 100 in this rack here.
Yeah.
Are we going to go one? Or are we going to
do it that way.
Yeah, okay. Well, I revisited this lately. This is the RSD with the the twofer on it, as they say.
Yeah, I like
but
that.
This Heart Attack is that's the one I'm really digging, and of course Mark Bell, Marky Ramone, Kenny Aronson, Killer Heavy. I call this right on the edge of prog, only because of Mark Ramone, Mark Bell, and what he contributed. Killer fucking drummer. Think about what he did later with the Ramones, and you're like, wow, he sure dumbed it down for a fucking paycheck. But this is really cool shit. Heavy, 70s rock, quintessential heavy rock, man. I fucking love it. Of course, we got some Frizzell art.
Yep.
And so, this is one of my favorites. This kind of stuck to my ribs when I first heard it years and years and years ago. Again, like back in the Blogspot days when we were kind of ripping CDs off of, LimeWire and WinMX and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it really stuck to my ribs. So all those years later, when this came out, I heard it was RSD. I think it was 2013. I fucking jumped at the chance to get it. And it never fails to disappoint me. It never fails to amp me up. I feel the same kind of power in it that I've always felt every time I spin it. So, Dust, Heart Attack, and the Heart Attack and Self-Titled.
That's a good choice.
And
especially hard.
Kenny Aronson is playing in some kind of country cover band locally nowadays, like in Washington Township and around where I'm living. And I met up with him once. A guy I was working for was good friends with him. I think he roadied or did audio for his show.
He comes
I try to get him to talk about. What's that?
He comes in my shop.
Does he? I tried to get him to talk about Dust, and he didn't want anything to do with talking about Dust. I don't know why. Wow. Maybe he had a bad experience with him, but. What a bummer when you see the guy right in front of you.
The last time he was in, he signed the first Derringer record for us to put on the wall.
Did he charge you?
No. No, he's been shopping with us for a long time.
So, Dust, yeah.
I came across Heart Attack probably around 2000. And, of course, that Frazetta cover, you're like, wow, what the crap is this? And I was talking to somebody, and I'm like, this looks really cool. And they're like, you never heard that? And I was like, no. And they're like, well, it's got Marky Ramone on it. I'm like, no, and ended up taking it home, checking it out, and what, of course, not what I was kind of expecting, but like you, man, just fell in love with it, dude.
Blew it away. It's mostly because of the rhythm section, bass and drums.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Bell is just fucking an incredible drummer. Yeah.
He's on another record that is on my list, but also not the Ramones. All right, Vance, you're up.
All right, I'll pull this out. Sex Pistols, Never Mind the Bollocks.
Yeah,
that's a perfect
start to finish. Love this record.
Who was it again?
Start to finish, man. I just when I was doing this, I was thinking, okay, what's solid albums that I always go to or go back to, and this is definitely one of them I would have in a top 100 for me.
Yeah,
definitely.
I agree.
I spared you guys all the Led Zeppelin talk, even though this has been my go-to lately.
You can say it, man.
Presence, huh?
Well, it would cover, come on, 10 albums at number one, tied. But what are you gonna do? But yeah, this one, just love it. Still, as pedestrian as it is for punk people, but
I agree,
solid
dude.
to me.
Yeah. I've had that on disc forever, but I didn't pick it up on vinyl until just one of these cheapo reissues till probably maybe 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I've never come across like an old pressing or anything or reissue from the 80s or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's when I got it. It was probably mid 80s, and I don't even know why I waited for that long, but it was around that time when I got it.
I got a first press of that, Vance, and I was working for a client, and he had a couple crates of LPs.
Oh, I think I remember.
He picked them up when they were brand new, and then he transferred them to cassette, and then just put them away. So they were. You probably seen. I showed it in the past, but
yeah.
I got 15
you
or 20 of those albums.
Speakers for it or something like that, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just awesome. minty fresh, like so suspect. It's so clean, but it literally recorded it and it went right into a crate, and he never listened to it again.
Wow.
So, and another one right off the top of my head was Dirty Deeds was another one that he had in that crate.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Mikey Bananas?
What's up, Mikey?
You see Jeffrey's
hammer and clams, bro.
I did. I'm still in shock over that, actually.
Did you picked it up for $200? Wow.
We're all in shock.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I have that dust, but it's kind of beat up, but I didn't pay no $200.
Wow.
What's Mike? I don't know. I missed that.
Oh, you didn't pick it up? You saw it for that much?
No, we saw it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You're okay then, Jeff.
Whew.
Worried about you for a minute.
Well, you got there, Darth Balls.
Well, might as well get my favorite out of the way is Power Age, man, from AC/DC.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's just my favorite record of all time. It always has been. It always probably will be. I don't know. There's just something about that record. I think I ever really pinpointed it, but the rawness of it, I don't know. It's definitely, I think, their best album ever. And probably, like I said, it'll be my number one. It's been my number one record for a long time, and I think it'll never change. So I figured I'd get the easiest one out of the way. For me, anyway.
Teddy Spaghetti Night Massacre? No.
Just like
just straight up no.
That could be a lie, though.
Maybe I'm going for shit. I tried to mix them up. Yeah, we're all.
Yeah, I'm gonna mix them up with a little. Because I have my next one's probably gonna be pretty fucked up for you guys. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'd be curious on how many might have the same too. Because, I said, I got a lot of standards in here.
I figured AC/DC's my boys, so everybody knows that I'm gonna pick one, and everybody, for the most part, knows Power Age is my favorite. So I figured I'll start with that one.
And actually, dude, I need to put that Sex Pistols on mine.
Yeah,
like I said, try to mix it up. I mean, we're all metal, hard rock guys, but like I said, don't want to just pull all metal. But one of my all-time favorite punk albums is Eye Against Eye.
Yeah,
very good.
This is like top to bottom, like every song is perfect. And I was late, to the game. These guys were, even DC, and I never really paid attention. But when this come out and I heard this, it was like, what the fuck am I missing? Yeah. And this was kind of a departure from the earlier stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That was their first different record, right?
Yeah. So I mean this is a 10 all the way across for me, this album. Yeah. What you got, Darren?
Okay. I'm kind of all over the place. And I kind of just went with my heart when I was picking these out. Emotional Response. It's another RSD.
Oh, yeah.
Mad Season.
Nice.
Not a whole lot you can say about Mad Season. Of course, Lane and Barrett. And unfortunately, people that aren't here anymore. But solid rock, heavy rock, blues, ethereal, killer lyrical content.
What year did that come out?
I think this is 93, 4, if I'm
5,
correct.
maybe?
5, maybe 5, right?
Yeah. And let me ask you this, because since that's like kind of like a super group project, Mad Season or Temple of the Dog?
Season all day long. Yeah, Temple is weak in comparison as far as energy is concerned. This is dark and brooding, and
I guess it's two different.
I'll say
it's a tough call, but
this is one of those numbered ones.
Just because
2,138 out of probably 75,000.
Probably.
This was another 13 RSD. I love every time. I love it every time. You think comparatively, like to some Alice in Chains stuff like Dirt. You really got to be in a certain mindset to listen to Dirt because it demands all your attention, and it's a very emotional kind of an LP. This has a lot of that in there, and it's not just because of Lane. There are other guys in here struggling with the same kind of issues that Lane was at the time. And this was it's one of the cassettes that I still own. Cassette originally bought it, CD bought it, and LP bought it. I haven't done that much in my life, but this is a very important album for me just because of the time frame. Not a lot going on life-wise, no real, adulting things to worry about, just kind of driving around partying and shit.
There you go.
And this was always in the tape deck or right in the glove box, man. Easily accessible, man. So yeah, Mad Season, hard to beat, man.
Well, for me, I would pick Temple of the Dog only because I've never heard that.
Really? You never heard that?
Never heard it.
Yeah, I love it.
I gotta go now, guys. I'll see you.
Well, here's the reason. That's why I was asking what year come out. If you're saying 94, 95.
4 or 5, that might be right at 5.
By then, I was kind of done with the whole Seattle alternative thing.
Okay, which is odd because I guess you could put it under the umbrella, but I never considered this like that kind of Seattle scene kind of thing because, like you said, it was dwindling by that point. Yeah. And this came out like at the tail end of that whole thing. So I consider it like an anomaly and on its own as far as that is concerned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not to be Mr. I was there when it started, but like I heard Bleach when it first came out and the first Mud Honey and all that. And it built up and then Nevermind came out and I was like, God damn, this is awesome. And then Nevermind would not fucking go away. And I'm like, I don't want to hear any of this bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
I just got burnt out on it. So
give it a chance, Greeno. Give it a chance. Give it a spin.
Oh, yeah.
You might like it, man.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, you got there, Vance.
Well, I mean, she's in that same vein. I could show 2 albums for that, but how about this one? This one, when this sucker came out, I thought this was they just like stepped up one from the album before that. This is Cult Sonic Temple.
Oh, that's such a fantastic record.
Fucking great.
When Love, I liked the album Love, and Electric took it to the neck, and then this thing came out. It was just this thing didn't get off the turntable, and I think I even had it on a CD too. Didn't come off for a long time. And then seeing them twice open up for Metallica that tour, I wanted to see Metallica, and people were booing. I'm like, what are you guys talking about, man? This is a freaking great record, but just all the way through, solid. No skipping, no nothing on that one.
Dude, for me, that album's great.
I love it.
Yeah. What's up, Mibber?
Oh, Mib.
Hey, what's up, Mark?
Like I say, I love that album.
Just wait, Mib. You just wait.
But for me, it's Electric. That one.
Yeah.
God, that one just blew. That was like the soundtrack to starting college for me. That and Appetite for Destruction. You know what I mean? It was like two great albums.
Yeah.
But both those albums are great.
Yeah.
What you got there, Balls?
The first album from Rick Astley.
Oh, here you go.
What the fuck?
It's for Mibber.
We just got Rick rolling.
Never gonna.
So are you fucking around or being serious?
No, I'm fucking around.
Now ZZ
Top. There it is.
Yes. Oh God.
There it is.
Favorite fucking ZZ Top record.
Honorable mention. Fucking great album, dude.
Nah, this is definitely on one of my. This is top 100 for me.
Great. Fucking
Such
great.
a good record.
I was so hoping ZZ would make it in the mix somehow.
Yeah. And it might not be their only one that I would have up there, but
it's a hard choice. They got a few really solid ones, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, I'm keeping mine. The next the Rick Astley, that's been a favorite of mine since.
Why do you? Never
Dude,
mind.
Funniest thing, this came in this last week. We got a box full of like cheesy 80s, and then when Greeno came up with the idea, I was like flipping through. I'm like, Rick Astley's coming home for this joke. So the joke was like 3 days in the making.
That's great, dude. That ZZ Top's like a hard one to find a good copy, cover wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
a lot of those early ones, all of them.
I just pulled this one off.
The
this
first
is
album and Rio Grande.
Yeah,
this would be considered a reissue, probably in the 80s.
They did wear down really easy, ring wear all over it. Yeah,
maybe not because it doesn't have a barcode. So I would say this is like a late 70s pressing of this because it has the Warner Brothers logo on it.
I think that's what I have, like a late 70s or whatever. And I have
but one. I have an original. I got a white label promo of that. I got I do. I love this record. Anything like that, I'll fucking pick up.
I have one that's just ring wear and beat to shit and looks awesome, and then one that's like perfect. You know what I mean? But the ring wear all fucked up one's kind of cool looking. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, it's weird, man. Man, anytime I see one that's in like this, I mean, that's in pretty good shape for a late 70s one. But anytime I see a 70s one in that shape, I don't care what the fucking vinyl looks like. If it's like $4 or $5, I'll buy it just for the cover.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Oh, I got a visitor.
Uh-oh.
Come on. Here's
growing.
Yeah, he's big.
Is that Rick Astley?
Yep.
What's up, Rick?
That's my buddy.
All right, so this one's a metal one. This is hard because I know everybody shits on these bands, but I love this band. And the first three, the EP and the first full length, it was hard for me to pick, but I definitely go with this. It's the most overproduced fucking thing ever. And I usually hate that kind of thing, but I fucking love this album.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just,
dude.
It's so polished and shiny and ridiculous.
It is penny as fuck.
Dude, it's got some of the greatest fucking 80s hair riffs on that record, though.
I love it, man. This album, I mean, the EP.
What's the fucking big hit that?
You're in Love. You're in Love.
Dude, that riff, the beginning of that song.
Fuck yeah.
When I first heard that, I was like, all right, this is fucking, I didn't like Rat, but I like that song.
What do you mean ass, John?
That made me go back and listen to the other Rat records.
Oh, man. The EP is great. It's a little more raw, whatever. And Out of the Cellar, of course.
Out of the Cellar, yeah.
Yeah, but that album is, man, I remember when it came out, I remember first time hearing it, I'm like, oh my God, man. Could they produce this anymore? It's so shiny. And
is that when Bo Hill started producing shit for Atlantic?
I think he was producer on this. Bo Hill, yeah.
Yeah, see, he was right in the middle of all that stuff when it started, especially for Atlantic Records, man.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, I had a back in the layaway days. That's kind of aging me, right? But I had a boombox on layaway, and I had enough for a boombox and one cassette, and that was the cassette and the boombox.
Good choice.
I had like 3 cassettes, and that was one of the new ones I had. That motherfucker got tore up, man.
Oh hell yeah, man! Yeah, I had the cassette and a Walkman. I can't tell you how many yards I mowed listening to this, man. Just constant when I was young to buy more of this crap. You know what I mean? It was like mow a yard, buy an album, mow a yard, buy an album.
See, now, like, you showing that record is like popping other records that I haven't thought about in a while. Like, oh, well, fuck, that could make my top 100 now.
Well, yeah, that's why I got like a stack like this. You said, 5 or 6. Next thing I got a stack of 20. I'm like, oh, man, I got to stop this.
I picked 6, man. Am I going to be behind the 8 ball here? I got to pick more or what?
No.
I mean, we're doing like 5.
This isn't going to make it. But I'm like, this isn't going to make it on Rolling Stones piece of shit top 100 albums of all time, but it makes it on mine, man. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's got these kind of albums that they love.
Dude, we should have done as a tournament style. Like if somebody shows an album like the Sex Pistols before, like if I had it or Vance had it on his list,
knock it off,
and Bizarro shows it, then we're like, fuck.
Well, right. we can still do that. I don't know.
Yeah, because none of us have showed anything else other than the Sex Pistols, right? Well, Sonic Temple. That might. But see, I don't know because it might have made my list. So I think we'd have to complete the list. Oh, you know what we should do is after we each get our lists done, then start some kind of tournament to see who the
get it down to the top album of all time,
and then fucking fight and debate over it, and that might be fun.
All right, Vance.
It might take till next March for us to complete it, so we can have the new March Madness 2023.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah,
get your brackets together, people.
I'll figure out how to do one first, though. Let me figure out how to make a bracket like that we can have 100.
Right.
That's gonna be tough, but we'll figure it out.
So so another one that really impacted me at the time, and strictly because of I'm big on like albums that are a complete departure from what they're really known for. And this album fucking blew me away. Right? Because this is so fucking proggy and mathematical. It's just mind-blowing. Like, prior album, just nothing even remotely the same. Completely fucking different. Extremely heavy, extremely technical. And
that's like more metal, right? Than their more punk stuff before.
I definitely call this metal, almost like thrashy, you know what I mean? But extremely technical, you know what I mean? There's a lot of insane, numbers going on, the way they constructed this album.
Mm.
So yeah, an absolute fucking mind blower. And I still feel the same exact way about it now that I did back then. And it was on a raw kind of cassette, used to trade cassettes with people. Didn't even have a name on it. Just my buddy told me it's just Crumb Suckers. I didn't even know which album. But man, this stuck to my ribs, and it still does to this very fucking day. I'll still put it on. I still get chills. You still kind of air banging around the house, you know what I mean? It's super fucking powerful, Jimmy's Dream and songs like that, and I Am He.
Right.
And the character, the Crumb Sucker always got me, you know what I mean? I always liked that fucking guy,
Now, I'm not super familiar with them, but weren't they kind of like with Gangrene and all that kind of that punk?
Yeah. And like Life of Dreams and all that. It was just completely different than this album. And that's kind of the thing that really sucks me into like these unique kind of spaces in time, in a discography that is unlike anything else.
Right.
I would say it'd be a really good subject is to pick a bunch of albums that are a complete departure within the discography of a band,
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Crumb Suckers, Beast on My Back. I got chills just thinking about that album.
You're up, Vance.
All right. A couple here.
New York hardcore.
A favorite.
He's going to show Zeppelin.
No.
Just do it. You want to.
I almost pulled up 10, but then I'll pass on it.
What variant is that? Is that the one with the double, the Brendan remix with the second one?
No, this is this one's a Target, that purple one that came out. I have that remix that has the alternate cover looking, the tan cover.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah. But this band,
record, by the way, 10 could make my 100.
Yeah, easily. That's this band though. I mean, first seeing the video that came out for this, and then the album and everything just got me hooked. Even though it was their third album.
Oh yeah,
Maidens.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, solid straight through. Great. I always say start with this if you want to get into them a little. I mean. I didn't get into the Diano years till a little later, but
solid.
This start every song. I don't have an issue with it at all.
So that's your Maiden album. That's your.
This is the first one I got. Yeah, this would be definitely
right on.
The band Maiden would be up there.
Those bands are hard.
Your favorite Maiden, Zep?
My favorite, it would be this.
Really?
Yeah, the Power Slave comes pretty close though.
Peace of Mind for me. What about you, Bruno?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Those type bands like Maiden, Priest that have the big discography are hard.
Tough. It is.
Yeah, because it tends to be when you like Vance got into them on that record.
Yeah,
so it tends to be that
more
record.
The nostalgia. Yeah.
Yeah, that record and a couple after, or maybe a couple before. That's kind of your bracket.
Because when the song Trooper broke, that's one of my favorite songs from them. Yeah, that was Peace of Mind. But
and you're absolutely right, Carino. For me, it was Peace of Mind. That's where I kind of dove deep into them. Still Life and songs like that. Just
it's just
great.
It's
we're all about the same. I mean, for me, it's like I would have trouble picking between Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, and Power Slave. It's those three. You know what I mean? Even I love the first two; they're fucking fantastic. But I wasn't there for them. Right. It was right. I kind of found them.
That was total MTV. A buddy had MTV, and I saw that video, and I was like, "What are these guys?" And
that's the way
Big Eddie comes out, and I was like,
"Yeah." I'm the only.
That shit was so cheesy, but it was great, and you're just like, "What is this?"
I'm the only one of us is different, man. I went back to Maiden after I went back to I should say the Diano records after hearing Power Slave, and
those hit you more than Power Slave.
Those hit me more than anything else Maiden's ever done. I mean, to this day, the first two Maiden records will always be my favorite Maiden records.
Yeah, I mean, of course they're all awesome, but it's like I kind of hit it with Vance because like
I just love Diano, man. I love that vocal. I thought it worked well for what they were doing. I don't necessarily think that it would have worked in the later proggier Maiden shit, but I don't know.
Because when Number of the Beast come out,
sing, man.
When Number of the Beast come out, I caught it like right at the tail end. You know what I mean? And then Peace of Mind come out, and it was like, okay, Peace of Mind's my first new Maiden album. And that one hit me, man. But then Power Slave come out, and I got to see him on Power Slave. You know what I mean? It was like, which one would I pick? I haven't picked a Maiden album yet for my list because those three, one of those three would be it. But which fucking one would it be?
Now, this is the fucked up thing. Mine wouldn't even be one of those three. Mine, when I really got heavy into Maiden, was during Live After Death, but going into Somewhere in Time. So Somewhere in Time was like my first fresh, brand new Maiden. Like I knew Live After Death, that got me into Power Slave. And then, believe it or not, I went from Power Slave to the first two records, and then Number, and Peace of Mind wasn't even on my radar for a good couple of years. Yeah, it was one of those records. Like I always saw it, but like I heard Flight of Icarus on there, or I remember hearing that, and I heard the Trooper, I think's on that one.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, that's cool.
That's Peace of Mind.
That's
the one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, they're cool, but I'll get it later. You know what I mean? Like I'll get it later.
I find that interesting that there's like a definitive line for, at least in my experience of, that early Maiden and then the Dickinson Maiden, it seems like most people either like that or they like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The only thing comes close to that is Bon Scott and post Bon Scott.
Right.
Yeah. Like Somewhere in Time, I don't agree with it belonging in a dumpster. That fucking record to me, like when I heard Wasted Years the first time, I mean, when did that come out?
I felt that way when it came out, honestly.
It was like 86, 87.
86. So I was 15, and like I said, that was my first like fresh Maiden record, and I loved Wasted Years. And then I went and saw them the first time that year, and
that was like the last album I kind of paid attention to.
The next record, I loved Seventh Son. I think that's a fantastic. I think that record's probably better than the one before it. But
wow, I totally. For some reason, they just kind of went off my radar. Then,
well, because it went a little more, I guess, a little more proggy at the time.
Yeah,
would be considered.
Yeah,
and to me, it was just like, oh, they're doing something different, but it's still cool. Like it's still heavy. I really like it. The songs could be shorter, don't get me wrong, but
it's so crazy. Like first getting into the VC and then like younger dudes and all that and meeting everybody and talking about these kind of albums. I remember the first time like a few younger guys were like, no, Seventh Son, man, that was the Maiden album. I'm like, what the hell are you talking? But it all comes down to when you find that band.
Into them. Yeah, that's why I think I love Somewhere in Time. I mean, I'll still listen to that record. And even the Blaze records, man, like the
I dropped off by then.
Yeah, well, the first one, I heard it. I loved Man on the Edge. The rest of the album, I didn't give a shit about. I thought it was terrible. And then when Virtual 11 came out, I'm like, I'm going to give it a chance. What the hell? And dude, I fucking love that record, man. I still to this day love that record. Don't ask me why. It's not, it's not a perfect Maiden album by any means, but like Future Real, I thought was a really good opener for that record. I don't know, man. There's just something about that record I love, and people think I'm nuts when I say it. So
Painkiller's that record for me too. It's like,
well, that's what got Priest
so many
people back into the heavy Priest that wanted that.
So many younger people jumped on Priest on Painkiller.
Yep.
And I fucking hate Painkiller. It's a shit record from start to end for me. I don't like Painkiller.
Oh no, see, I thought you meant you love it. I love that record.
I hate it. I've tried to get back to it, and I think they were doing nothing but jumping on the bandwagon to try and play what was popular, which they did on Turbo, and I hated it at the time. But now I love Turbo. I can deal with Turbo.
Wow, that's shocking.
Yeah, I can't stand Painkiller. I hate it. It just never clicked.
You prefer Turbo over Painkiller?
Absolutely.
Next he's going to say Johnny Be Good.
That's weird. I can't listen to Painkiller. I mean, I can't listen to Turbo nowadays.
I saw
him I think it's my favorite.
Yeah,
I saw him on the
Painkiller. I
Turbo
can
tour,
put it on.
and I the album sucked when it first came out, but now for some reason it's come back around. But Painkiller, I've tried.
Dude, I just thought when I first heard the drums, the intro to that track, I was like, holy fuck, man.
That is one of the heaviest intros of all time across the board, man.
Yeah, it is.
And then when he just goes into the slow gallop drum the slow galloping
that
drum.
Slow gallop with the double bass, yeah.
Fuck, dude. And then you hear the guitars kick in, and they don't, it's like when they hit, they didn't sound as thin as they always sounded like for those two. Yeah. I mean, it worked for them, but something about that record, when that record first kicks in, it sounds like the house explodes behind you. It's just like, holy fuck, man. And it stays that way. I think it, from beginning to end, Painkillers, dude, that could be top 100 for Priest. I mean,
is Turbo in your top 100, Greeno?
No.
It
would be
what other?
I didn't say I liked it that much.
Like what other Priest album is perfect from beginning to end in anybody's mind? There's
Stained
not
Glass.
one. Stained
Glass
for you.
Is
it really like
I like that crossover from the 70s, 70s rock into the metal.
But I'm saying, do you know every song on that record?
British Steel, probably, yeah. Scream for Vengeance.
No, I don't.
No, I mean like an album a Priest album from.
I pulled this one. It was Defenders of the Faith. Probably.
Now, like I couldn't tell you every song on that album.
Yeah,
But my whole thing with Painkiller is, okay, Priest are now trying to be a thrash band because we now have Metallica and all that stuff. And
I didn't get that at all.
That's all
I think after
that's weird.
Johnny Be Good debacle, ram it down with Turbo. They had to step it up. They had to be.
That's a weird. I mean, that's an interesting take from Greeno. That
Priest to me is a classic rock band, just like Maiden, or classic metal band, just like Maiden.
But listen.
Hold on, just like Maiden is a classic metal band. Maiden got proggy. Maiden got proggy and fucking boring. Done. Priest tried to get all heavy and thrashy. Boring. It's not Priest.
Are you talking about now or like Maiden now?
From like Seventh Son on.
But but there hasn't been any Maiden record.
Whenever Bruce came back.
That one record. Yep. I know.
That album's fantastic.
Yeah.
That album's as good as the 80s record.
Brave New World. Yep. That's it.
That album's as good as the 80s.
Dude, record. I totally agree with you.
I agree. And I saw him on that tour. It's a fucking solid album. Definitely.
The Priest thing, that's an interesting take on how you
Greeno has a lot of interesting views like that. He really
I never ever thought that, but I could.
He never fails to shock me when he says stuff like that.
Turbo over Painkiller, baby. I don't know.
I'm surprised though, like, because if you go back to Ram It Down, just that song, if that had a decent production, that could have fit on if the same producer produced that as Painkiller, that could have fit on Painkiller.
That album from the get-go.
Well, how about
I remember seeing the video for Painkiller, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man?
Oh,
this isn't my Priest.
Well, how about what'd you think of Ram It Down?
solid.
Do you really? I hate that record.
Not great, but I would take that over.
No, I do. I love Ram It Down, the song. I like that, but I thought the rest of the record was like, I don't know.
It was definitely coming down from Screaming to Defenders to Ram It Down.
Yeah, like it was weird. Like it was rushed or something. You know, it was almost like demos, kind of. But when they came back with Painkiller, I was all on board, man.
I just couldn't do it.
I do hear what Greeno's saying about the shift into metal.
No, I do. Yeah, now that he said that, but I never back then. I didn't think that. I didn't think that at all. I thought that. I thought it when Halford jumped ship and started Fight, and Fight had the tune down the guitars. But it was still heavy. I'm like, all right, he's just jumping on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
But I heard the whole record. I love that first Fight record. The second one blows dog dick, but
I was never a Fight fan. I liked Halford when he started that he was getting back to. Okay.
Oh, this I love the first Halford. What is it? Matter of fact, I got the reissue here somewhere. It's probably in my pile.
Hey, I got a dog. It's got to go out. I'll be right back.
All right.
You guys keep arguing, and just remember the
Resurrection, right?
The only worse album than Painkiller is Metallica's Black Album.
Oh man,
discuss.
Oh
no, the worst album than Painkiller is the Black Album. I would rather listen
him out while he's gone.
I would rather listen to Painkillers than the Black Album at this point. At this point,
versus Painkiller versus.
I still think the Black Album is as tepid as fuck, dude.
I loved it when it first came out, just because I don't know. I was fucking a major fucking Metallica head.
Yeah, we were waiting for a new album after Justice.
Yeah, and I thought Justice, dude, it's so funny, man. Looking back, I was like, fucking Justice, this is their best album. Yeah, dude. Then the Black record came out. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking great. Not so much their best record. And now. It's like 40 years later, 30 years later, whatever. And I go back and I listen to Justice and I'm like, this album's terrible. The production sucks. What the fuck were they thinking? There's no bass on it. What was I thinking? Like, I love Eye of the Beholder's great. Blackened's great. And the instrumental I really love. But overall, it's just an okay record. And then you go back and listen to Puppets and you're like, okay.
Oh,
it's like fucking night and day, man.
I like those Jason remixes where they pump the bass in there on those albums.
So ridiculous. I've heard those too. I wish they would, when they did that the anniversary, it's like, just go bump the bass up, please. It's like all to prove a point. Like they could just make him just feel like shit the whole time,
Yeah, they did a good job in that.
It seems like that's what their whole main goal was in that production of that record, was to keep his bass back.
John said he ditched Metallica when Injustice came out, so that shows you where he's laying.
Yeah, it's weird. Did. Like a lot of people did, but I jumped on board. I mean, I was in, man. They were my boys. It was AC/DC, Metallica then and now.
It's interesting because when that came out, I didn't even that whole breaking down of the bass and sound, it didn't even really enter into my mind. I was young, it was heavy and it sounded cool. And they found a way to pump so much mid into it, into the entire mix, that warble just kind of sounded like bass a little bit,
Yeah. It's a bummer now. Like I can't listen to that record now.
It's hard to listen to now. Yeah.
It's like Kiss is Hotter Than Hell, man. Like I love that record, but the production's so bad on that record.
It's terrible. I thought I had a shitty copy of Hotter Than Hell for years, and then I heard another copy and then another copy. I was like, they all sound similar shitty, the same.
Every fucking song on that record's great, other than, there's like main lines, just whatever. But there's such classic stuff on that record. It's a shame that it just sounds the way it does.
Yeah, I mean, I for my entry, when we were talking about Metallica, I mean, I pulled that too, was Ride the Lightning was my entry point for them.
That was probably, that was my entry point.
And it's still my go-to for that. I mean, not as much as I love Master of Puppets and the first album, but that's it's kind of where I picked them up, and it's just something we play. This is crazy. You just got blown away. You played that over and over and over again.
And that's straight up metal. Straight up fucking metal.
That's where I got into, because I used to work, as a matter of fact, in this house. My mother.
I mean, actually, the first thing I got was the Am I Evil? I thought that was the fucking greatest thing ever.
Oh, yeah, you're right, man.
And I didn't even know nothing about Diamond Head at that time, but it was that EP for Creeping Death and Am I Evil?
Yep. I used to work on my BMX bikes out in the garage in the St. I bought this house for my mother 20 years ago, but she bought it in 1985. So it was right in that era. So I used to listen to fucking Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets working on BMXs out in the garage, and here's like 30 some years later, I'm in the same fucking house. It's weird, man.
I think Randy wants you to show more Rick Astley, please.
All right, hold on. You want to see the back cover? Because it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. It's just like, it's just the same picture. Same picture as the front cover, just not as big.
Stunning.
You don't want to meet that guy in a dark alley. Whew.
Yeah.
First song, baby.
Never gonna.
Dude, I almost shit myself when I saw this. I'm like, oh, I got to pull this for tonight. I'll bring it back to work tomorrow and put it in the budget.
So you don't own it.
No, I don't. No, I said I brought it home from work.
You might miss a sale. You better get that back to the shop.
It'll be $1. It'll be in the dollar bin tomorrow morning.
What was it? Rick Astley?
Yeah. He ain't fooling nobody. That's going right on the shelves, right after AC/DC. Ashley,
never gonna give.
Well, did I miss anything? Did we get to the bottom of?
No, yeah, we were saying how you're insane for not.
We were talking shit on you big time, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to get back and watch.
And we're saying that nobody in that house. Nobody in that house can hold their water, for Christ's sake. Jesus.
Right?
Dog has to go to piss. Reno has to go to piss.
My dog's got the shit, so what can I say?
The dog's got the poo-poos. Now he's gonna blame the dog.
We didn't even know that really, but
she's killing me, man.
No, we were. Yeah, that's what you said. He had him. The dog had him up all night.
Yeah,
got the runs.
Did you go, George?
All right.
I forget what we were talking about.
Or did
we were just kind of bullshitting while you were away. We didn't want to.
Did you shit out in the yard with your dog, Greeno?
No, I forgot to take toilet paper, so I'll have to wait.
Just drag your ass like a dog.
And then kick your feet.
Did you go, Vance?
Did I know?
What were we talking about? You talking about Pearl Jam because we said how good.
Then we got into the Metallica and Judas Priest riff. I think that wasn't that you, Greeno? That was last.
Yeah, Greeno. We were talking about Painkiller, and then I said, if you like, Ram It Down."
Well, how many do you have left out of your 5, Vance? I only have one left. So.
Like I said, I pulled a big stack, so I could show as many as we need. So I could do another 2.
Go ahead.
What are you barking at?
Do one.
All right. This it's another album that just blew me away when it came out, man. I heard this that opening riff for A Man in the Box. Facelift. Killed it.
Oh yeah, that's a good choice.
I agree.
Facelift.
That's great.
I was driving through freaking Nebraska. It came on this station called Pirate Radio, and that bam, 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 and I was just like, "What is this?"
Love
and
that
it just
album.
Blew me away.
For me, they never topped that album.
No,
I never knew that it's all 4 of those guys' faces in that one face, like
like this, like a plastic bag in a pool or something like that.
That freaks me out. Man. That picture freaks me out.
But I mean,
that's one of those ones.
Yeah, it's just.
I got the.
Of course, I got into that whole Seattle sound too. When that all broke, I was all into it. So, I got to show "Louder Than Love" from Soundgarden too, because I picked that up.
One of those records that I bought as the bootleg. The pirated.
Yep, I did too.
I bought the pirated Alice in Chains, and then 2 weeks later it came out.
Yeah, no, I had it on, and I CDs then back then. So
no, I mean that
just
showed it.
Yeah,
is that the actual Sony reissue?
Yeah, this is the reissue came out.
I got that too. Yeah, I bought, but it was fucked up because I bought the bootleg one, and then 3 weeks later I see it on our list, fuck figures. I paid $29.
We both did that, George. Remember?
Oh, did we? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And the bootleg sounds just as good.
That's what I said. This bootleg sounds great. So,
well, you got George. You're up next.
I don't think I had any more other than the. Yeah, I just had those.
Oh, you got one off the top of your head?
I would. I'll just dump the other one. Let There Be Rock from AC/DC. That'd be another top 100. That's another for me an album from beginning to end. There's not one bad song on it.
Right.
There's not one song that I would ever just shuffle to the next song. It's one of those albums for me. Not every AC/DC record is like that for me, but those two are. Powerade, Let There Be Rock. I could throw in Flick of the Switch too, just to get all the AC/DC out of the way. But
that's interesting. Flick of the Switch.
It is.
Flick of the Switch is my favorite Brian Johnson record.
Really?
To this day, yeah.
That's a
wow.
I don't hear that album come up at all.
It's the power age of Brian Johnson's records, man. It's a raw record. They went in, they did it themselves. So they say. I still think Mutt Lange helped them a little bit. I think it was the last album that Mutt did. I think he started working with him and then they finished it because it says produced by AC/DC. That was their first album they ever produced themselves.
Right.
It's just a raw road written record. You could tell it was written while they were touring. And it has that vibe to it. Like it has that live vibe to it that Power Age had, that Let There Be Rock had, that they kind of lost, Highway to Hell, Back in Black, For Those About to Rock. All three great records, more so Back in Black and Highway to Hell. But the overproduction of Mutt Lange did kind of kill something in that band, if that makes sense. I don't know if it was the hunger in that band. Granted, people think I'm talking out of my ass because they sold millions and millions of Back in Black and For Those About to Rock. Yeah. But if you sit there as a musician and listen to what they were doing, what they did in that 77, 78, and even I'll give Highway to Hell more so than Back in Black and For Those About to Rock, as far as production wise, had a little bit more raw feel than those two Brian Johnson records. And again, Highway to Hell could make it into my top 100 because, again, an album that from beginning to end. However, Night Prowler's never been one of my favorite tracks that's on that record.
Yeah.
So that might leave it off. But the first 8 are fucking masterpieces. The only thing that would keep it off to me, they don't have that. It's not the hunger because it's there, but it's just the overproduction, But then when you hear If You Want Blood, the track, If You Want Blood off of Highway to Hell, you're like, holy fuck. That gets goosebumps every time you hear it. Just the opening riff.
Flick of the Switch come out, it took me a while to warm up to that album, like a while.
It took a lot of AC/DC fans too.
It took me a while to get that album. I saw that tour and I didn't buy that album for the.
Now here's the problem that I always said with Flick of the Switch. The album starts off with Nervous Shakedown with Rising Power, a slow brooder kind of. Just a slow intro song. The dumbest thing they could have ever done. And I think when you see clips from that tour, they opened with Guns for Hire, which is on the album, it's the first track on side 2. If they would have switched those two songs and people automatically heard the first song as Guns for Hire, it would have been a different feeling for people hearing that record. I think.
Yeah, well, I think just overall the whole album was kind of more laid back, which
is okay, but it's not. It's not at all. Once you get to Badlands, Brain Shake, all those Bedlam in Belgium, all those two songs on side B, they're all boogie fucking fast hard rock, AC/DC songs.
Right.
Dude, that first side is like 4 fucking songs in a row that are just slow stomp blues AC/DC songs. I don't know what they were thinking when they put the list together and how, I don't know what they were thinking.
Really listen to it. I admit that's one I've listened to.
All right, put it this way, man. Here's how you listen to Flick of the Switch.
Side 2
first.
Yeah.
Yes. because it's a totally different. It's a totally different experience when you listen to it reverse.
Yeah.
Side 2 first. It's amazing.
All right, my next one, where we kind of talked about, you're talking about Mad Season, we're about kind of 94 or so, just that whole alternative grunge, whatever you want to call it. I was burnt out on it. I ended up through the 90s, man. I got really into whatever you want to call it, alt country, Americana, no depression scene, whatever you want to say. But this album I freaking loved, man. Hopefully one of you guys have ever heard of them. Whiskey Town, Stranger's Almanac.
I see that all the time on CD, man.
Dude,
I've never heard that record.
It's fucking fantastic. It's Ryan, god damn, his name just went out of my head.
Ryan Adams.
Yeah. Who's like everywhere now. He's got a million.
Yeah,
this was his band before he went solo. And it's just that mix of Americana, country, rock, but you have Ryan Adams singing, and they also had a fiddle player, violin player, whatever you want to call her, and she sang backup, and their voices together was like perfect. But just the lyrics for this, these songs are just fantastic, man. It's just like this album will just kind of take you away. It's just an awesome. And I suggest anybody, if you dig, kind of a little bit of country, easier rock or whatever, if you've never checked out like the 90s alt country scene, such cool stuff, starting with Uncle Tupelo and Wilco and then a million bands after that. But
same exact thing happened to me, man.
Yeah, this is a 10, top 10, or a 10 perfect album to me.
Wow.
And Ryan Adams, like I said, man, he's kind of huge now. He's everywhere. He's got side projects, but he's one of those.
He got fucking Me Too last year. Now we're seeing Ryan Adams records like crazy used.
Oh, really?
I think so, dude. That's what the girls are telling me that bring him in.
But his thing is he writes so much crap or so much stuff, so many songs.
He's like, what's his name?
He needs somebody, a good producer, to come in and say, okay, you just wrote 10 songs. This song's good. The other 9, forget about them. Write 10 more. You know what I mean?
Yes,
he needs somebody to control him, because he just puts out, like, for a while it was like, okay, he's got 2 new solo albums out, and he's also playing in a band called the Cardinals or something. It was just too much.
I don't know what he did, but Secondhand Choke said that he got canceled as well. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know what he did.
Yeah,
he probably touched a girl in the wrong way or
made somebody cry. Oh, well.
He looked at a female the wrong way and she got offended.
Asked somebody out on a date.
Somebody up here had posted too that Flick of the Switch was produced by George Young. I find that hard to believe, because that production on that record sounds nothing like the Youngs.
I don't know.
Production. It could have been, but I've heard that rumor as well, but who knows? I never thought that was the case with Flick, because it sounded so different than the albums that Harry Vanda and George Young produced, but I could be wrong.
What do you got, Aaron?
Secondhand Choke said he beat up his girlfriend. She probably ran her mouth.
She had it coming.
Hey, if you can't find a girl that can take a punch, then what? No,
Dark
I think the show's going to be canceled next.
Dark Balls is about ready to get canceled.
My wife knows that. She's like, because we always joke, like, what do you look for in a woman? I look for a woman that can take a punch.
So this is kind of another one of those early '90s. This album, it's pretty special to me. I was the first one in my town, surrounding towns, to actually have this album. I got it on cassette from the local record store. They ordered it in. They only had so many. Nobody knew who they were. It was kind of unknown at the time. Foo Fighters' first album. I constantly go back to this LP because it's so fucking solid. It's the only example of everything that Dave Grohl has done and put together. all his early influences and all the things he was writing during Nevermind and In Utero and the things he set aside for himself. Of course, right after Kurt passed, he kind of dove into making this album a reality. So everything written, everything played by him originally, super solid LP. I know you can argue with the Mentos kind of song and shit. It's a little cheesy, but essentially this is hard rock, hard rock, especially when you hear songs like Watershed and For the Cows and stuff. It's very well done. It's very 90s, and it holds up extremely well. I'm not even going to say in my opinion, it holds up extremely well. It's a very well done album.
No, I agree
And,
with that. Yeah.
I remember carrying this cassette around in the car, same exact car. I had my 70 and a half Camaro driving around, going to see my friends and partying. Food Fighters, nobody knew what the fuck it was, and nobody knew, Dave Grohl did this thing. And I enjoyed going around and showing all these people this album. So it was a very, very good time in my life, a very happy time in my life where we just went from party to party playing Foo Fighters for people. And again, it really holds up very well, I think, production-wise and sound-wise. And of course, the music is just to die for, man. So I really love it. And it's my favorite Foo Fighters of all time. Everything subsequently is watered down, in my opinion. So first Foo Fighters, fucking killer for me, man.
I remember when that came out, somehow I got a demo of that. I think it was floating around without vocals.
Wow.
Demo on cassette. Typically, they were on cassette originally.
Yeah, I had a copy of that. It was cool. And that album's cool.
I have
for me, the Foo Fighters, awesome songs, but after that album, they're like a best of band to me. It's like if they put out a best of, it's a fucking solid album. They have killer songs, but there's so much kind of filler on.
I like the second album. What was the second album? Was the
Color
second
and
album
Shape?
have? Yeah, does that have Monkey Wrench on it?
Yeah,
that album's really good too.
Yeah,
but after that,
I like the first Foo Fighters for its purity.
Yeah,
it's pure because it's all Dave, only Dave.
Right.
Even if later albums were played by different band members, it was all Dave. Everything was Dave. From start to finish. That's what I love. I like the purity of that album. Yeah, so
I like
very heavy hitter in my for me personally.
Plus, when I first heard "This Is a Call," the first single, I was hooked. I'm like, oh, this is killer. Because you know why? I was really into the Wild Heart, which I still am. But at the time, the Wild Hearts were just coming up and really big overseas. And This Is a Call kind of had that vibe to it. So I was like, oh, right on. If they do this, if he does this, I'm happy. And, I would say half the record's kind of like that.
Yeah. It's like their hits are freaking solid, man. That's like I said, they're kind of I've bought a couple of their other albums after the debut, and other than the hits, they didn't kind of.
Yeah, Monkey Wrench is my favorite fucking Foo Fighters tune. There's just something about that song that's killer.
There's other bands like that for me. I mean, you guys have that, like Elvis Costello's like that.
Nickelback, definitely.
What?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Who said that? I think he was just possessed by his dog.
Yeah.
But like Weezer's like that to me. It's like
single bands more or less.
Yeah. It's like
Weezer's kind of hit or miss.
Oh yeah, Queen would be a really good example. Their
Queen's
Queen
a great example.
1 and 2 best ofs are fucking solid. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not one.
You could maybe throw Thin Lizzy in there a little bit. Maybe that Celebration best of they put out.
Well, like Queen's a perfect example. Is there one Queen record that you love from beginning to end?
No, that's exactly what we're. Yeah, exactly.
The closest one for me is probably The Game or whatever.
Yeah, I would say The Game too.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's definitely a solid first side, and there's some good songs in there. So.
I figured it'd be older, like Queen or the first Queen or Sheer Heart Attack or something. Sheer Heart Attack's a really good record. But
Greg Dooley played on the first Foo Fighters. That's the dude from Afghan Wigs, right? Am I thinking right?
I don't know. I thought he might have. I don't know.
What do you got, Vance? You're next.
Like I said, I got a couple here, I guess. This is an album I always say, a must-have in any rock collection, and I start to finish, I love this one too, man. UFOs, Lights Out.
Yeah.
Good choice.
I mean, from the title track, wrapping it up, with Love the Love and everything, and Electric Phase. And,
do you guys, Vance, do you have Force It?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have the unedited cover?
No, I don't.
Do you have it nearby?
Yeah, it was a reissue that I got.
Just grab it for a second. I want to show you guys something on it. You guys might know this, but check this out. This is you guys might know this. I found this out about 20 years ago while I was on tour with Brittany Fox. Me and Michael Kelly Smith were driving across the state. But check this out. The album cover. I didn't mean for Vance to get up and go. I thought it was right there. He went in the other music room he's got.
Yeah, so you got him in record room number 3 digging through the pews.
He's almost here. I can hear him.
Banging on the door.
He came too far. I hope he didn't fall down.
Oh, Jesus.
Medic!
All right, well, let's go back to the full screen then. There he is. All right, check this out.
Sweating now.
Oh, he doesn't have his ear. There you go. I'm sorry, Vance. I thought it was right where you could grab it.
Oh, no, it was, I just had to flip through. It was in the.
Sorry.
This one here.
Yeah, hold this up. Now, check this out. Did you guys ever realize all these things in the picture?
They're all like faucets and stuff.
Yeah, now
this is like
what did you just say? Wait, Vance, what did you just say? What are they?
Faucets.
Now look at the title of the album.
Force It, yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I always kind of put it together.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's how you say it in England, right? A faucet is.
Well, I thought because the guy was kind of forcing himself on the chick.
I thought they were two chicks. They're two girls, aren't they?
Well, I don't have them.
Okay, wait a minute, George.
Yeah.
So you're driving across the state, all smoked up, looking at the album cover, and you're going, "Wow, there's
no." I was driving. Listen, here's how the story went. Mike brought it with him. Yes, we were listening to it on the way to wherever, Pittsburgh or somewhere. And he's like, the story behind the album cover, right? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I assumed he meant the two chicks. I always thought they were two girls in the shower, but I could be wrong. That they were edited. And he said, well, yeah, that. But he goes, you do realize what the picture is? And I'm like, no. There's just a bunch of fucking two chicks in the shower or something. He's like, look it around. And I'm like, yeah, they're faucets. So what? And he's like, say it again. I'm like, fall like an idiot. I'm like, faucet. What the fuck are you trying to get at? He's like, look at the album title. I'm like, Force It. I'm like, oh, all right, I get it. But I just thought that was cool if nobody knew what that. I guess everybody knows, so fuck me.
Welcome to the group.
Hi.
All right, you're up next. What's your next one?
Is that like a well-known thing and I'm just new to the party?
I've never really.
Glad you got caught up there,
George. Fuck you guys.
What's your next one, George?
Kiss's Rock and Roll Over.
Interesting.
That's my favorite 70s Kiss record. And I think it's probably because that's when I got into them around that around that age.
Yeah, I could have pulled Kiss Alive just because that was the first record I ever got. It's nostalgic kind of thing.
And like we were saying earlier, like 30 years later, listening to that record, it still is fresh sounding to me because of the way it was recorded. It was recorded in an amphitheater I think that's the album that Peter played in the men's bathroom of the amphitheater for that drum sound. Something weird like that. But the rest of the guys played live on stage. And you can tell on that record, it sounds like, it was recorded live. It has that freshness to it. Kind of like their first 3 records, although, like I said, Hotter Than Hell sounds like shit. But the first album and Dress to Kill are fucking clay. They could be all three of those could be on my top 100, but Rock and Roll Over would be over top of those three for sure.
Those 70s Kiss albums are right in there with Maiden and Priest. Yeah, you know what I mean, it's like, god damn, how do you pick one of those for me?
I think going back now though and listening to it as the 50-year-old dude now and knowing, having an ear nowadays for production value, that's what defines like a perfect record to me. Like what you kind of feel the vibe that they're going for it while you're listening to it, and you can kind of place yourself in that. Especially if you read about where they recorded it, like they recorded in the amphitheater or in a theater somewhere, and you could just picture like Peter having his fucking drum kit set up in the men's bathroom playing to this. Well, it's kind of cool.
This all goes back to another one of my beefs that I've bitched about. There was an art to recording back then. It wasn't click. Okay. You know what I mean?
And that
it was a fucking art. Yeah.
Because it's interesting because today I just read the Black Crowes have a new EP coming out called 1972. And it's 6 or 7 tracks that had come out in 72 that they're doing the covers of. So I think like
Faces and all that kind of stuff. Probably.
Yeah, I know there's You Wear It Well they're doing Rock Salt from the Stones.
So are they doing it old school style? Or
dude. If you go on I think it's an Amazon exclusive, I think, for right now. If you go on there, there's like a mini documentary of them recording this thing in this old ass studio that Prince recorded 1999 in, and all these artists recorded in. And the music they're playing that's coming out on this Black Crowes thing, the production just through my computer speakers sounds fucking amazing compared to all this digital shit. So
yeah, I'll check that out.
But it's the first single they're doing. It's an old Motown track, but they did it, their way. I can't remember. Yeah. I can't remember. I think that's the only song that's out right now, and the other 6 come out in May.
All right, my next one. This band has 2 records on my list, but this is probably my all-time favorite.
Wow, really? That's your favorite?
That's my favorite.
That's when you got into them.
Nah, got into them on Ride the Lightning. I love that. This
I do too, but I mean,
if I had to keep one Metallica record, I could only keep one Metallica
really
record. It would be this. Yeah.
Wow.
I would keep Puppets for sure, but I get it.
I won't tell you what the other record is on.
I get it. You know why? Because my butt, dude, when that thing came out, I was my first year in high school. That came out, and me and my boys, like 7 of us, went to the mall and all bought it on cassette.
Yeah,
all 7 of us. That was like one of the first times I think I remember going to this store with dudes from high school who I just met that were metalheads. I'm like, yo, let's go get the new Metallica album.
I agree, John. It's perfect. This album's perfect. It's so. It's not overproduced. It's just them screwing around and recording, and it's just like it's perfect, man. I love it.
But it's covers, which is fine. But I mean, I could see if it was originals, it'd be even better. Like, especially, dude, I could see why some people thought that some of their shit was their own. Like this, what's it, Small Hours? That song.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't familiar with some of this stuff.
I didn't know any.
Most people weren't,
except for the Misfits tunes.
Yeah, and that might be part of it because it kind of turned a lot of people onto that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't know nothing about Diamond Head till I heard.
Yeah,
here. Same thing with Budgie when they did Bread Fan. I didn't know.
Those guys definitely.
Same here. I didn't know anything about them.
Metallica turned me on to a lot of fucking bands from the 70s.
How many people do you think know about the Misfits because of Metallica? A lot. Where they were wearing the shirts and all that shit. A lot of the metalheads that weren't into punk,
I don't know, maybe outside of my area, like Philly.
And you got to remember, Cliff was wearing the Fiend shirt too.
Yeah, but I knew I knew who the Misfits were before I knew.
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying.
I'm saying I think it depends where you lived.
Metal fans, yeah,
I think it depends where you're from.
I would say these dudes gave the Misfits.
I would agree with that.
Career,
I would agree with that, especially
because like the year later they released that collection album.
Yeah,
Misfits. So
Misfits, Diamond Head too, man. I mean,
Misfits
look what
were
they
always
did for Diamond Head.
In Philly, Jersey, DC. They were. I mean, we always knew who the Misfits were here before I knew who Metallica was.
Yeah, well, you're from the area,
right?
You know what I mean?
So I know what you're saying is definitely true. Like once, especially
look what John just put.
Once they started playing,
that's
totally once they started playing Last Caress live. That's when the Misfits shit blew up.
Yeah,
outside of the area here. Yeah. But I think more than 20,000 people knew who the Misfits were before '86. I think that's a very low number.
This is one of those records that I don't know if you guys have one of these where anytime you see it for a good price, it's cheap enough. It don't matter. You pick it up. It's in good shape. I don't know if you guys, I bet you have some like that with AC/DC, George. Yeah, You just come across some that's $5. That thing's in great shape. I got 4 copies at home, but I'm going to buy it.
Oh my God, dude. I got fucking 12 copies of fucking Powerade up there.
That's what I mean.
All over the world, dude.
Dude, I got like 7 of these.
I know you do. I remember you telling me that years ago that you had a ton of them.
And I'm not like that with the other Metallica albums. I have some doubles, but not like that. Anytime I ever saw that one, you don't see it now, but back in the day when it was cheap for $10 or whatever, fuck yeah, it was coming on.
Oh, dude, if that came in the store now, that I would probably buy it for my collection. I have one. I've never seen them. You know, was there a time that was in the fucking budget bin?
It may have. I don't know. It may have been. I know it wasn't repressed for how long until it just came out. What, a couple of years ago?
A couple of years ago. But I for some reason I remember seeing that fucking thing in the budget bin.
Well, I know the CD
copies of it.
The CDs were even going for like $50-$60 for a long.
Yeah, but they went out of print quicker than the vinyl. I mean, you saw the CDs go for a lot of money. I guess vinyl wasn't really sought after though.
All right, what you got, Aaron? You got one more? Or?
Yeah, well, I can do. I did pick one more. I picked a couple more while you guys were talking. Of course, I'll just use this as my honorable mention. Of course, this is my current favorite of all time. See, Greeno, I guess you had to take a dump. But yeah, this is my current.
He picked something because I saw him look down and then he went.
I think his dog shit on the keyboard. This is my current favorite of all time. Again, because this is really difficult for me to pick like favorite albums of all time because they're always shifting for me. So yeah. So this would be my honorable mention. But I did pick one that really was super impactful for me when it came out, and that's Dope Smoker.
Oh yeah, they're from Philly too, aren't they?
No, not from Philly.
Sleep?
No, not from Philly.
No.
Solid album. Of course, one single track. Label forced them to break it up, but this is actually full, solid single track. Dope Smoker. Heavy drums, heavy bass, heavy guitar, killer lyrical content.
Do they have a record that's kind of like black with like silvery, sparkly kind of stars on it?
No, I don't think so. No.
Dude, who am I thinking of, man? There's like a Philly band that kind of has that.
Who did you check?
The Sleep record.
Who am I thinking?
Hey, Greeno, who am I thinking of from Philly that has like that kind of? Are they kind of Sabbathy?
Yeah.
It's all one song, right? If I remember right.
It is. Yeah, it's a double LP, and it's all one song. This is after their record label forced them to break them all up into individual tracks because they didn't like the idea of a conceptual LP. So this has been, again, compressed to be one single, but it's on 2 LPs.
Gotcha.
And from start to finish, just a mind fuck, man. It's immersive. It's extremely immersive. Like you want to put this on. this is one of those albums where I'd say you have to smoke weed while you're fucking listening to this album. It's a must. It's a prerequisite. You must be high when you listen to this fucking album, because that's exactly what they were doing when they were recording this album. So extremely impactful for me, and still very solid for me. I still enjoy listening to this thoroughly.
Where are those guys from?
I don't remember, but they're not from Philly. No. I know that.
It's funny. We had a band that
I thought California, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
There was a band.
John says maybe San Francisco. Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, dude. There's a Philly band. I swear to God, I thought they were called Sleep, but they had a record store day thing a couple years ago. Man, I don't know who it was, but that's who I always think of when I thought of that.
California. John was right. They're from California, George.
When I see that band, when I see that record that you just showed, I automatically think of this one fucking record store day thing from this Philly band, but they weren't called. Damn, I don't remember what they were called.
Yeah, so
I'll have to check them out. Yeah,
I have one more honorable mention at the end.
Yeah, go for it.
If you need one more, I can. And it's odd that I focus on these years, but I'm just going by what I'm going by feeling here. So. Yeah. First, Stone Temple Pilots LP.
That's another good one, yeah.
Core, another super solid. And they caught a lot of shit when this first came out, that they were an AIC knockoff and shit. I never fucking heard any of that. I know Creep was kind of a little, derivative, of that kind of sound, but still, a unique band with a great sound. And this is a band that first 4 LPs, 5 LPs, fucking solid, man. Really solid shit. This just hit me just at the right time. You know what I mean? Early 20s, party time, great party album, driving around album, camping. I remember doing a lot of camping with this album, like fire going, people partying and shit. So special place in my heart for Stone Temple Pilots Core. And this is the MOV double clear with the etching on the back.
Nice.
And very, very good sounding LP. So yeah, this means a lot to me. All these albums that I showed tonight, they really mean something to me. And that's kind of why I chose them, because they were kind of impactful for me, in those times.
I think to be on this kind of list, I think they have to be.
Yeah,
that's just be a cool record.
That's how I pulled them too. Stuff that just really stuck with you, or there's some sort of nostalgic kind of connection to it.
Right.
The Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains, both of those, man, Greeno's going to have me flustered for the next couple months now.
Well, that era was,
Yeah, those three, like, I would never put Nevermind on my top 100, but In Utero might make it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And Bleach would be up there for me as well, because that hit me just at the right time.
Yeah, I have no interest in Bleach. Like, yeah, I never really listened to it that much.
Bleach is a candidate for my list.
Wow, that's crazy.
I would tell you that I couldn't listen to Nevermind. I was huge into that album when it came out. I saw them a month before Nevermind came out. And when Nevermind came out, totally into it. And then it just went nuts, and it was like, just stop. You know what I mean? And I didn't listen to that. I didn't listen to that album for probably myself, other than hearing it on the radio, until about 4 years ago. Honestly, I never took it out and played it
because you were sick of it.
Yeah,
just
but
like
I came across a copy of a new pressing on vinyl, and it was a good deal. And I thought, I'm going to get this just to put it in the collection. I dug the album at the time, and I probably had it for 2 or 3 years before I spun it. And when I dropped the needle, I sat down in front of the stereo and I listened to the whole record, and it was like, God damn, what a good album this was.
That's what I said, man. Listening to records 20, 30 years later with a different ear. Yeah. I think we can all say we all have a different ear than what we did when we were 20.
Oh, yeah.
And you hear shit again, or you hear
it takes you back to that time too.
Not only that, but then you start, since we've been listening to music for so long now, and you hear a record that you heard fucking thousands of times, whether it was radio, video, and listening to yourself, and you don't listen to it for years. And now you go back to it and you're like, not only does it bring you back, but then you start going, well, that fucking riff is pretty killer.
Yeah, more of a discerning ear as you age. You're hearing
that's my experience.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but Greeno's right. It's like a combination of the two, you know.
Yeah,
definitely.
But then I hear like what's George Martin's son's name, whoever his name is, he did the remix of the last Beatles thing, and I heard "Here Comes the Sun," the remix of it, and I swear to God, and I'm not bullshitting, and you guys can make fun of me all you want. Not only did I get goosebumps, I started tearing up. That fucking remix.
I'm gonna laugh at that.
Dude, the remix of "Here Comes the Sun" on that latest Beatles thing that I don't know his name. It's George Martin's son.
Yeah.
He started taking over all the Beatles stuff. If you listen to "Here Comes the Sun" and hear all the separations, especially on a nice system, it's gonna fucking move you. I'm telling you, it's amazing. I've never heard a remix like. And I love the Beatles, don't get me wrong, but that song's never been one of my favorites. But there's something, the remix of that. If you listen to it in the right head, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, holy fuck. Like these guys were onto something.
Dead Wax. We had a cult record pop up earlier.
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah. I love his avatars, the Joey Ramone doll. Yeah. I have that figure.
What do you got, Bands? You got one more?
Yeah, I could kind of go with what, how Aaron started it off there. Kind of a new favorite band for me that I've been listening to the heck out of. I got turned on through these guys through Grown Man Record Night. They played a different album, and I went out and picked this up. This is King Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Just fell in love with this band. This came out, picked this up, and I went out and picked up everybody else. So it's kind of the new favorite. It's been played a lot and everything on there.
Vance,
just put out a new album.
Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, is that brand new, you said?
This is from last year. They released 2 albums last year.
Yeah, that's a New York band.
Nice. Yeah, these guys are great. And I just totally, got immersed into them and picked up everything they have up to date. And
now, what's your favorite out of their discography up to that point?
Or this? Or prior to that, what's that EP? The blue and yellow EP.
Dead Star.
Yeah. That was cool too. But
assholes. Nothing.
I teared up when I heard say
so that.
Yeah, I did too, but not for the same reason.
Yeah, I think we all
in a good way though.
I'm telling you, dude. That Here Comes. Go listen to the remix of "Here Comes the Sun," dude. It's fucking nuts. What?
No, thank you.
Greeno.
It's the Beatles, dude. Nobody wants to hear the Beatles.
I still love the Beatles, man. I have more respect for the Beatles nowadays than I did when I was 20. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, I can easily give you a cheese too if you want some cheesy stuff.
Just real quick, I was never a huge Beatles fan, but I didn't have a problem with them until I joined the BC.
Oh, right.
Beatle loving.
Oh my God!
Just never shut up. It's like I officially hate the Beatles because of you people.
I don't watch any of the Beatles guys.
You farting assholes.
I never have. Maybe that's why I don't. I don't watch the Beatles guys, man. Because I know how they can be. So,
not that I watch specifically Beatles people, but it would just pop up everywhere. It's like,
oh really?
The over the top Beatles people and the love for Genesis blew me away when I joined.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing, 8-9 years ago.
Yeah, I had no idea. Genesis to me had one album. That was Abacab. That's the only album Genesis had.
Dude, heck, guys, I mean, that's how long we've been doing this, right? I mean, I'm coming up on 10 years of this crap.
I'm 10 now.
Yeah, we're just 10. Dude, we sell so much fucking Genesis at the store. It's unreal.
That's cool. I mean,
I can't keep that shit in.
Yeah. Is it dollar bin stuff?
No, it doesn't matter if it's the fucking Peter Gabriel Genesis or the fucking Pop 80 shitty Genesis, but it's crazy, dude. We sell it, all of it. It's nuts. I don't understand it either, but
John Coltrane is another name I never need to hear again.
Yeah.
Said John.
Or Blue Note or Tone Poet. I can do without ever hearing those words again.
Yeah, we sell a lot of that shit too, man.
What do you got, George? One more?
Well, the only other thing I can think of that's destined to be on my top 100, that of course is going to be, a regular album, would be Master of Puppets.
Oh yeah,
that would for Greeno having the 598 EP, I would have Puppets up there, just because it
was huge, dude. I mean,
well, not only it was huge, but like I said, I was listening to Ride the Lightning and when I remember when Puppets came out, I specifically remember when Puppets came out. I think I got it through, believe it or not, through Columbia House. Like, I didn't buy it the day it came out, but it was in Columbia House like the week or the month later. So I ordered it.
10 for a penny.
Yeah, and I had it, and I kept it in the fucking garage, man. Like, and then I had another copy for the upstairs stereo on vinyl. It was just like one of those things.
Dude, like I said, I got 2 on my list. So
yeah, but like
that's the other one.
Yeah, Puppets is like from beginning to end, kind of like Ride. I mean, I know a lot of people give Escape on a Ride a lot of fucking grief for some reason. I always like that song. I guess because I don't know, people seem to think they tried to write a radio hit for that album, and that was it. I don't know if that's true, but I could see where they're coming from if you listen to it. But Puppets, the whole fucking record from.
Dude, for me, and this is just generic, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the greatest heavy metal album ever recorded.
Yeah, ever.
To me.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's not controversial, and everybody likes Master of Puppets, whatever. That album I've never.
Nothing touches that record. Yeah. I mean, you can. I think you can make you could probably make an argument for Rain and Blood from Slayer if you want to go metal on metal, but
not me. And I wouldn't even pick Rain and Blood as my favorite Slayer.
But I think for that era, I think people. I don't know if you remember this, but like Metallica fans and Slayer fans, like there was kind of not like a, they like you were
like a clash.
Yeah, there wasn't a clash, but like, fuck Metallica. I listen to Slayer. I knew guys like that. I liked both of them, but their Master of Puppets is Rain and Blood, I guess.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's the 2 albums. I mean, that's the 2 everybody mentions. It's the 2 big ones.
Well, then you're missing one other one.
What?
Peace Sells. I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, to me, it's not quite Master of Puppets or Rain and Blood, but it's closer to Rain and Blood. I mean, it's close. Rain and Blood and Peace Sells are closer together than. You still have Metallica above those 2 records, but I think it'd be a bigger argument for Slayer's Rain and Blood versus Peace Sells.
Peace Sells is that's my favorite Megadeth, but I wouldn't put it close to those 2. And actually, I would put Among the Living Anthrax above Peace Sells.
Oh yeah, that's another one. I forgot about that one too. I mean,
that's the 4.
That's the big 4, right?
Yeah. Generally, yeah. I would switch out the Slayer one for a different Slayer, but that's just me.
Which Slayer would you pick?
South of Heaven.
Now, yeah, I mean, but that's a couple years later, right? Like those 4 records that we mentioned are all around the same year, I would think.
Yeah, they're all close, yeah. 86.
All right, which one of those 4 is your favorite?
Master of Puppets.
Okay. How about you, Vance?
Out of what? The Puppets, Peace Sells,
Peace Sells, Rain and Blood, or Among the Living?
Oh. Yeah, I'd have to go with Master Puppets on it. So I just know it more than the other.
Same here. Fucking hit me right in the gut, man.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't wait for because like I said, I got into Ride the Lightning. It was a new Metallica, and we wore a couple tapes in my buddy's car, just driving around, just thrashing to that.
Let's see, this guy he doesn't.
I mean, even my sister listened to that. It was.
I don't listen to the big 4 anymore at all. Boring. Now, I mean, you could make. You mean their current shit? That's fine, but like, I wouldn't call the big 4 boring at all. Unless he means like their current music, I would say good to it. And
maybe he means it's just played out for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like never mind to me.
Gotcha. Overkill and Testament. they mentioned too in the comments, dude. They're like they're.
Should have been a big six.
I was just gonna say it should have been a big six. Overkill, Testament, and I think you could throw Exodus in there too.
There were some great live shows when the Big Four was touring around. Fucking excellent shows, man. It's like a metalhead's fucking dream. But yeah, you could have definitely added another couple to that list.
Yeah,
sure.
Especially like fucking Overkill and Exodus were always big. Testament too. I don't know how they were all over the country, but Philadelphia always had the love for their thrash metal, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's talking about, or a few people talking about Bonded by Blood. Definitely.
It's a great record, but again, it sounds like shit. Right? Is that the album that sounds like shit? Or am I thinking of something?
Kind of. It's definitely got a rougher mix.
Peace Cell sounds like shit.
Peace Cell sounds better than So Far, or better than
So Far, So Good, So What?
Well,
the first one. What was the first one?
Killing Is My Business.
Killing My Business.
Oh yeah.
You got to listen to the remix.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear the remix.
My favorite.
Peace Cell was where I started with Megadeth too, so I kind of leaned towards.
Yeah,
right. Sacred Reich. The American Way is probably my favorite Sacred Reich LP of all time.
And you want to know the album? And the album that knocked Master Puppets out of my car and out of the garage was fucking Among the Living, man.
That
for me,
that was their masterpiece to me.
Yeah, like I remember when Among the Living, I remember getting it, and my buddy was he had heard I guess I Am the Law, maybe like one of those tracks. And he came over. He had it on I'll never forget this, a Memorex cassette. He's like, check this out. He pops it in. And I was like, all right, we're going to the mall and getting some Anthrax.
I'll tell you what, though, the Bonded by Blood, I hate when bands go back and re-record shit, like Twisted Sister's done it and all that.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Exodus re-recorded that album with that, what was his name? Rob Dukes or whatever.
Rob Dukes, yep.
And they fucking nailed that. That thing sounds awesome. If you ever get a chance to hear that, it's probably from like 10, 12 years ago now.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. But I know I loved Rob Dukes in Exodus, man. I thought he was great. I still love, what's his name? That sings.
What's up, Aaron?
That's back with him.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Bayloff. What the fuck is that dude's name? Whoever the singer Exodus is, again.
Did you give your last one, George?
Yeah. No, I gave Master Puppets.
Okay, that's right. Well, I got one left, and totally switching gears from metal. But this band got big.
Debbie Gibson.
Close. Very close. This band got big in the early 90s. Like so big, it was almost Nirvana big, where it was like, stop playing this fucking song.
Aqua.
Grave Dancers Union. Wasn't that the name of it? Grave Dancers Reunion or Union?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Runaway Train, Soul Song.
Yeah. God, how many times did MTV play that shit? You know what I mean? And the radio. But a few years before that, they put out Hang Time. I don't know if you've ever heard this. This album is fantastic, man. Solid. Every song on it is killer. And it's in that. Soul Song had kind of their own thing going on. And this is a little more, I don't even know how to put it. It's not really punk, but it's a little more college rock craziness to it. But if you ever get a chance, find a cheap copy, man. Definitely check it out or stream it online. If you dig Soul Asylum at all. Like Grave Dancers Union, I thought it was a cool album at the time, but it suffered the same thing Nevermind did. It was like, you got to stop playing this. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this album, I mean, I had this, before the big album come along. And
yeah, you don't see that one every day either.
What year is that, Carino?
88.
88.
And this is like their third.
Yeah, they had a shitload of albums before that.
Did it have that killer song, Runaway Train, on it? Fucking love that song.
You almost had me on that.
Billy Milano was a true poet.
He was. Brother. He was. SOD. Fucking awesome.
Anal inflicted death sentence. AIDS.
He likes spitting on people, man. He really likes spitting on people. That's for sure.
John, I fucking love.
Oh, dude, that's another one, man. SOD. That could be in my top 100.
Yeah, a bunch of them were talking about.
I give you guys credit for trying to do something like that because
what top
Yeah.
100.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, man, just start. Don't even worry about it. Just put stuff on it when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like that was my goal. I was like, I'm not going to sit down and bang this out like in an hour.
See, but he wants to make me nuts for the next month because I'm going to be jotting shit down and I'll be crossing shit out and I'll be like, you motherfucker, I can't sleep. I'll be like 4 in the morning. I'll be texting him like, Def Cheetah, like all these fucking band names that are all fucked up.
You see you waking up at 3. How did I forget that one? Where's that list?
It'll be like the day I die. I'll be on like 99. I won't complete it. Well, man. Thanks you guys for coming on. 2.5 hours. I'm about out of here.
Right on.
Gotta take another dump.
I was waiting. I was like, who's gonna say it first? Aaron won.
I'll let it slide since I say it all the time.
I appreciate you having me, guys. It's been great hanging out with you.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Did you guys enjoy this? I mean, doing like the favorite things. I'd kind of like.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Just like you said, it's a nostalgia thing too. So you think about these things. You're like,
and thanks for all the people in the chat hanging out.
Yeah,
definitely, man.
Yeah, man.
Pretty lively.
I didn't keep up with the chat as much since we were talking a lot tonight. So
yeah.
Well, you two suck at marketing. I know. Aaron was talking about it the other day, and then I put a thing up in the YouTube post thing or whatever, so people could check it out. So I'm glad some people showed up.
Yeah.
I just put it on the YouTube page. I don't know where, dude.
It's fine. This is guerrilla video, man. We just throw it up. If you're there when it happens, you're there when it happens.
So we splitting out, or are we going backstage and then splitting out?
Yeah, hang tight for a minute, and we'll shut it.
Oh, by the way, if you don't mind, I'd like to do a shameless promotion.
Yeah, man, go for it.
Go for it.
So on my channel, I don't know if you guys have been checking it out, but we've been doing a session, DJ session. I'm calling the Hydra Sessions, and it's really the first time it's ever been done in the VC where we have 3 live DJs spinning vinyl live on a stream. And so it's myself and John Bip Bop Boom and Randy Deadwax, who's in the chat now. And we each come up with a set about 25, 30 minutes, and we split it up into 2, so we get about 15 minutes each. And so we're going to be on Hydra session number 4, which is going to be coming up this Saturday. Nice. I'm not sure if we're going to have another guest. Last time we had a cameo guest. Mikey Bananas came in and did a 15-minute set, which was fucking awesome. Because he kind of picked, his set was kind of comprised of songs that he knew we all liked individually. So it was a really interesting set that he picked out. But this Saturday, it's going to be myself, John, and Randy over at my channel, Mr. Bizarro. And we're going to be spinning some killer live music for you guys. And I'd like to invite everybody out. So thank you.
Man. Yeah, sounds awesome.
Cool. And just remember, before we go, Vladimir Putin is a bitch and Will Smith slaps like one. Did you hear him call? Somebody call. I posted this old lady from Ukraine that called Vladimir Putin a bitch. And I fell out laughing when I heard, because she's like 80 some years old. And the 2 other old ladies that were next to her sitting in a bombed out fucking building over there. And she's laughing, talking in, I guess it's Ukrainian. And the women are laughing and she's cussing. And they have the subtitles online. You can see what she's saying. And she's cussing up a storm. And she calls Putin a bitch. And those 2 ladies start cracking up. It was the best thing I saw all week.
Was she laughing in Ukrainian?
Yeah. I didn't understand that, but the subtitles helped. No, it was cute. It was funny. Like it was weird to see something that bombed out and these ladies sitting there and just laughing, calling, just making fun of them. It was great.
We have an upset viewer though. MemberTube's a little upset there. We'll have to take care of that next time.
And no titty shown tonight.
Somebody pull their shirt up, please, and make him happy.
I get paid for this shit. I don't get away from me, bitch.
That's top dollar shit. What are you talking about?
That is.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in or clicking in, whatever the hell you do.
We won't be away as long next time. This time.
Yeah, it'll be 2 months.
See you next year.
We'll be back soon. Peace.
Back for a Christmas special.